Focus on closing out tonight's game.
A lot of time, just NBA basketball, fourth quarter is about, getting the ball in, the guys' hands and, let them make plays.
The Pacers have won 3 of their last 4. Tip-off is tonight at 7. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 at 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. My friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all or your money back. Seminars are 8 p.m. on Thursday, January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville, or 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Registration is 30 minutes before the seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, eastbound 465, a little bit slow right now. Allisonville Road over to 69, and southbound 465 slows up from 72 south, Shadeland. Traffic sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Steady temperatures throughout the night tonight, mid and upper 50s. Showers develop later tonight, so it stays mild and breezy. Tomorrow, rain will be likely, and it'll be breezy once again. Temperatures begin to fall into the lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Brian Baker's filling in for Hammer. My name is Nigel. Hey, Brian, does our transportation secretary actually do anything? Like has he actually accomplished anything? Mayor Pete, old Pothole Pete, has he done anything that is worthwhile?
Well, in terms of his performance of his job duties, no. But I understand that he's a very caring and attentive parent.
Yeah, he took longer paternity leave than my wife did.
Yeah, that's an old paternity Pete. Yeah, he's doing a splendid job, isn't he?
Besides highlighting that we have racist roads in this country, I'm not sure Pete Buttigieg has done squat, especially in terms of supply chain. In terms of baby formula, in terms of especially the utter catastrophe that we saw from the airlines, not only this summer, last fall, and of course now Southwest Airlines. 60% of Southwest Airlines, again, canceled today. They're saying they should return to normal. But, I remember at one point Pete did write a sternly worded letter to the airline saying, hey, but now, first of all, have you ever, I'm really shocked by Southwest. I always fly Southwest. I've flown on it 100 times and I've never had any problems.
It's my favorite airline.
Yeah.
By far my favorite airline. Good prices, they're efficient. I'm telling you, man, and they call them a budget airline, which I don't get because I have never had better service or enjoyed my flight more than when I'm on Southwest. And I've flown some of the other airlines and I'm telling you, it ain't the same. The only thing that I could compare it to in terms of Southwest was when you remember American Trans Air? Remember when that airline was
ATA, sure.
Yeah, ATA was fantastic, and it was like, Southwest is kind of like, I don't know, it's the same experience for me as a flyer, and when I say flyer, I mean someone who hasn't been on a plane in about 10 years.
Oh, you haven't flown in a decade? Wow.
Yeah,
even out to L.A.?
Yeah, probably 7 years, I think is how long. Yeah, I just, I'd rather be behind the wheel of my own car.
Probably a lot of people that were stranded and stuck in places other than their homes over the holiday that wish they would have driven. And it looks like old Transportation Secretary Pete, Mayor Pete, I'll just call him Mayor Pete, Mayor Petey Pants, ignored warnings from several attorney generals, including the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. She sent him a letter earlier this year, warned of the, quote, deeply troubling and escalating pattern of airlines delaying and canceling flights, quote. Again, more from this letter. Airlines have attributed cancellations to staffing shortages, particularly due to a purported shortage of airline pilots. Yet, as you have acknowledged, the pilot shortage is due in large part to actions taken by the airlines forcing pilots into early retirement or otherwise shrinking their pilot pool.
No. I got a real problem with this, Nigel. This really gets in my craw. Terrible mayor, terrible transportation secretary, and I take no comfort in knowing that the government, the very entity that helped cause this problem, is now beating on the airlines to fix the problem. These idiots in Washington shut down the entire country for a virus with a more than 95% survivability rate. That, in turn, had an impact on the airlines and their profitability. These bumbling buffoons pushed for stimulus measures that obliterated the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar, created massive inflation, massive shortages of consumer goods, led to panic buying, and again, ultimately helped fuel the surge in fuel prices. These pinheads of the highest order that are serving within the Biden administration implemented an energy policy that sent fuel prices soaring, airline tickets soaring in turn, and led to a decline in travel because flying became unaffordable. And then on top of that, these narcissistic nimrods told the airlines what COVID policies they were required to adhere to, including an overbearing mask policy, which led to even fewer travelers for the airlines, which killed their profits, led to massive layoffs. But please, tell me more about how paternity leave Pete is going to fix the airline industry's travel woes during a once-in-a-lifetime winter storm that's already over.
Well, with Southwest particularly, we had a great conversation with the commercial airline pilot. He was retired, Mike Hatton. He's been on the show before. Go back and listen to yesterday's show, man. The commercial, the former pilot, Mike, he was great and chalked it up to a lot of the problems after the winter storm because all the other airlines got their crap in order. The Southwest is the only one still canceling 60% of their flights days later, and it's because of the software they use. Their antiquated software, the communications and everything is just all jacked. And part of it, again, hell, even over the summer, Elizabeth Warren, old Pocahontas herself, sent a letter, Mayor Pete, urging him to, quote, fully utilize its statutory authority to protect consumers and promote competition in the airline industry. And then there was more attorney generals. Letter after letter, warning after warning. And as a matter of fact, listen to this audio. Mayor Pete went on James Corden a few months ago and said, hey, you know what? Everything's going to be fine for the holidays.
This past summer, I'm sure people here in the audience experienced this. A lot of disruption, thousands of flights cancelled, even more delayed. It was kind of a brutal summer for travel. What can be done about this? Do you think this issue will be sorted in time for the holidays?
I think it's going to get better by the holidays. We're really pressing the airlines to deliver better service. We need to make sure that the system is ready. So we're taking a number of steps.
I'm sure that made everybody feel much better.
You know, no wonder Joe Biden believes that Mayor Pete is almost like his own son, because he does the same crap Biden does. He takes victory laps for things that haven't happened yet, and then it winds up never happening.
And then meanwhile, countless pieces of luggage lost. I mean, thousands of luggage lost. Here's the moment. Check this out. Listen to this. Here's the moment a passenger found his bag. He had 2 canceled Southwest flights. His name's Patrick. Finally reunited with his bag at Midway, and he let the entire baggage claim and the entire airport know how he felt when he found his bag.
Sorry, it's been a fucking week.
Oh, man.
I would probably be the same way, man. I would probably be the same way. In other news, the January 6th committee, the sham show trial committee dropped their subpoena. They withdrew its subpoena for Donald Trump. You remember that was a big thing a couple of weeks ago.
I'll be golly. And now they've made this announcement while no one's paying attention.
Yeah. Here, Donald Trump's doing a victory lap. Got on social media. Quote, was just advised that the unselect committee of political thugs has withdrawn the subpoena of me concerning the January 6th protest of the crooked 2020 election. They probably did so because they knew I did nothing wrong or they were about to lose in court. Perhaps the FBI's involvement in rigging the election played into their decision. In any event, the subpoena is dead.
Well, and is anybody surprised by this, Nigel? I mean, truthfully, I have such mixed feelings about Donald Trump, but the man is Teflon. He is the Teflon Don. Nothing sticks to him. And every time they go after him, and they always build it up, this is going to be the thing that's going to take Trump down. And every single time he manages to escape and they back down and he winds up being just fine. People around him might be going down, but not Donald Trump himself. How many times are we going to play this exercise out? You know, can we just back off and move on now and get focused on the country's needs? Because I don't really give a crap about Donald Trump at this point or the January 6th insurrection, nor do I think most of the people that are more moderate Democrats. Folks are ready to move on and focus on the task at hand.
Let's kick it over to the WIBC Traffic Center and talk to Matt Bear. Matt, what's up?
Hey, Nigel. Looking at the southeast side, this is a pretty gnarly crash here I'm looking at. It involves a pickup truck pulling a trailer, and right now the ramp from southbound 465 to Brookville Road, the off-ramp is closed because of this crash. Again, southbound to Brookville Road shut down here at the moment. We don't have a lot of delay involving this crash, but we are stop and go a little bit in the southbound lanes from 70 down to Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Family Dollar. Start the new year with Family Dollar. Stock your pantry and keep things clean and organized with the products you need from your favorite brands. Family Dollar, helping you do more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So, Brian, later on, here about 3:30 or so, we're going to get Hammer on the phone. I know he's on vacation, but he wants to really talk about the fact that this that the Pentagon gave $16 million to repair damages caused by the Afghan refugees there at Camp Atterbury. Hammer was the one that had sources. I mean, this is back in 2021. Hammer was the one that had sources saying, man, things are crazy down here. And Channel 13 did this hit piece on the show, and Hammer basically called him a liar, and his sources were wrong. Well, come to find out, $16 million to repair damages caused by things down there. It doesn't seem like exactly things were all honky-dory down there.
No, and I got things to say about this, Nigel. I am really worked up on this one, man.
So we'll do that at about 3:30. Right now, 57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
I have argued on television and in other places that until we put an end to illegal immigration, there should be no other conversations that take place. You can't be offering up amnesty until you start with, we don't allow illegal immigration in the United States. Everything else is a non-starter.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Diamonds. Everyone loves them, and at Shane Company, we've been experts in the diamond business since 1929. This means we know diamonds better than anyone else. At Shane Company, you can now choose between either a natural or lab-grown diamond. For your engagement ring, diamond studs, or diamond pendant. When it comes to our new lab-grown diamonds, we take the same approach we do for all of our diamonds and apply our same superior standards. We work with the best diamond vendors, people who've perfected the art and science of creating gorgeous diamonds in a lab, with the quality we're known for. Then, we hand-select only the best stones cut by the best diamond cutters. Plus, all our diamonds are eligible for our free lifetime warranty and upgrades. We'll show you our huge selection in every price range and help you select the perfect diamond. No matter what you choose, whether it's a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond, you can be confident that with Shane Company, you're getting the most beautiful diamond.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, And in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Did you miss someone on your list this holiday season, or have some holiday cash possibly burning a hole in your pocket? Well, if you're a AAA member like I am, I've got you covered. Give the gift of peace of mind to start the new year. A AAA membership. It is truly the gift that keeps on giving all year long. Flat tires, dead batteries, you lock your keys in your car, 24/7 roadside assistance from AAA for an entire year. I remember my wife told me my truck had a flat tire in the driveway. I was at work. AAA came out to my house, put the spare on my truck. I didn't even have to be there. AAA saved the day again.
Help someone you care about kick off 2023 right by giving them a membership to AAA. Get yours today at your local AAA office by calling 844-GO-AAA-GO or visiting AAA.com, because you don't have to be stuck on the side of the road to get assistance from AAA.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months, already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Brian, I did want to get your take. I want to drill down more into what happened with Avatar and why there's been such a significant plunge in box office sales the second weekend. But are you okay? There was a sort of a vague text last night about a hospital, and then I saw the tweet about how 1 minute you're brushing their teeth, the next minute you're in the hospital. Everything all right?
Yeah. Oh, it's just been a delightfully restful and blessed holiday season for us, Nigel. You know, my folks, they came down, God bless them, they came down to well, not so much spend time with me. They've had enough of me at this point, but they, spend a little Christmas time with the wife and with the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who, by the way, if I was ever thinking I needed a paternity test, it's not going to be necessary. My mom is sitting next to my daughter. They're watching TV. All of a sudden, my daughter floats an air biscuit and then says, smell that honeysuckle. So,
oh, that's wonderful. She could have that could only be your daughter. For sure.
She's mine, for sure. So my folks get down here, man. And, of course, they go through all of the misery of the weather and driving down here. A lot of people had to experience that. They're here about a day. They find out that there's some kind of a plumbing issue with their condo in northern Indiana. And they may have had pipes explode and, all kinds of water in their unit. So that really, set them up for a restful time. Then last night, we finally, everything's calmed down. Everybody's enjoying each other. We're having a good time. And then I'm upstairs. I have just had a nice shower. And I'm singing Stars Shining to my daughter, putting her to bed. And all of a sudden, we hear the loudest boom, followed by my father's, the Jeep, the car they brought down, and I hear the car alarm going off. Oh, rush downstairs, and I figure, okay, there's been a car accident, because it sounded exactly like that. Open the door. My father is now laying in the doorway, right there in the entranceway, in excruciating pain. And this is a man with a very high pain tolerance. I was with him when he took one of those Stingray, one of the tails from the Stingray, took one right through the foot, and he wasn't
No
having
kidding.
any challenges dealing with that. And that's painful. He's in excruciating pain. I immediately jumped to the worst case scenario, which is he's either A, been hit by a car, or B, had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he apparently was trying to be helpful to my mom, bring some things in, tripped coming over our little entryway rug, which we bought just for my parents' visit so that everything would look cute. Hit his head, smacked his shoulder into the doorway. We figured he probably busted his shoulder. So we go on down to the hospital, which, by the way, I haven't seen a hospital like this since I was in LA. It was packed, man, and packed with people who were not in the best of shape. And there were clearly some people that were just using it as the doctor's office. Oh, my goodness. I mean, they put the man through everything. First of all, after waiting about an hour and a half, they finally get us in. They give him about 7 x-rays. Great. Then the doctor says, okay, everything looks good, but they still have to have their specialist come by and give his A-OK. So that takes another hour. Then, you hit your head. Well, you got to have a CAT scan. That's general policy. So then we're there for another hour. Then he says, yeah, CAT scan looks good. But again, we have to have the person that's the expert on CAT scans come out and look at it and make sure that you're all right before we let you leave. And then to just, really instill confidence in the medical industry, when we're just getting ready to be discharged, they come out with the arm sling and the ice for his shoulder. And the nurse proceeds to ice his elbow. So clearly, communication and
all that, and he comes out with an iced elbow.
Yeah, well, and
is he okay, man? How's he feel?
He's fine.
All
Thank
right.
God he didn't break his shoulder. He just, we think what happened was he dislocated his shoulder, but when he sat back up, it popped back into place. So now he's on all kinds of ibuprofen and everything, and iced up. So yeah, I'm sure they're thrilled they came down here this holiday. It's just been a delightfully restful time for all.
Great purchase on the carpet that he wound up tripping over. Good job there, buddy. Hey,
yeah, thanks. I picked that out special.
Real quick, we touched on this the other day. I think I was on with you and with Casey. But I thought it was curious that Avatar 2 plunged 58% in its second weekend at the box office. Like, you go back to 2009, Avatar declined at 2% in its second weekend, back when the first one came out. I don't know, maybe the weather and the holiday season had something to do with it. But, I mean, are you attributing this to anything in particular?
No, I mean, I think there's the enthusiasm for the big budget blockbuster films that have all the special effects. Avatar, I mean, Black Panther 2 did horrendous in box office. And the superheroes, the big budget films, they're starting to fall off anyway. People are losing interest. But I think there's a certain lack of enthusiasm. But also think about the amount of content that's out there that's really good content, and it's available via streaming. And now, most of the streaming services have some kind of a free option. I think people just felt like staying in. The weather was crap, and they're probably over Hollywood to a large extent. And, there's some backlash from that as well, especially when you got James Cameron talking about how he cut 17 minutes out of Avatar 2 because he didn't want to fetishize guns. Yeah, the guy who made the Terminator doesn't want to fetishize guns.
I mean, the same guy that said masculinity is, or, testosterone is poison, basically. There's too much testosterone, says the guy that probably doesn't have any. I do think it's funny. Yeah, he cut 10 to 15 seconds out of Avatar because he didn't want to exploit the gun fetish. There's a gun fetish in this culture, and I wanted to get rid of some of that ugliness. Dude, you wrote Terminator and Alien and Terminator 2, and it's like, spare me. Give back the checks then, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, invest that money in reducing gun violence. Do something for the community. No, he's hanging out in New Zealand, having a grand old time, living in a mansion, and just spouting off his political views. Shut up, James.
Okay, coming up, we're gonna get Hammer on the phone and figure out what's going on with the latest update. $16 million in damage to Camp Atterbury. We were raked through the coals when this story first broke. Hammer had some sources on the inside. When the Afghan refugees were there, things were not going too well. Definitely got just smeared by Channel 13 and Bob Siegel. So we will have an update to that coming up next. All right, it's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
Dan Dockage for Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, and I got to tell you, I see why. Since I started a testosterone replacement program with Affinity, my energy, mental focus, drive, everything is up, and the physical benefits are amazing. Check them out at feelgreatindy.com. Guys, you can improve the way you look, the way you feel. You can build muscle and lose fat. Affinity will give you the roadmap. Go to feelgreatindy.com. That's feelgreatindy.com.
Hello. This is a message from the office of Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. Are you having an issue with any federal agency or need help navigating the complex federal bureaucracy? If so, if you live in Indiana's 5th Congressional District, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has 2 district offices here to assist you with Social Security issues, Medicare claims, veterans benefits, IRS issues, passport applications, Service Academy appointments, and a variety of other services. Representative Spartz's Northeast office is located in downtown Anderson across from the Paramount Theater, and her Southwest office is located in downtown Carmel on Main Street next to the Monon Trail. Again, if you are having issues with any federal agency, Representative Victoria Spartz's office is here to assist you. You can call Representative Spartz's office at 317-848-0201 or submit your inquiries at her website, spartz.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A change in the forecast compared to a week ago. Cloudy, 58 degrees downtown Indy, nothing under radar. Temperatures don't drop too much tonight. The low, just 52. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. From below zero wind chills to much warmer weather. John Herrick reports on the weather change in Indiana.
It wasn't a week ago that temperatures were frigid, but this weekend it warms up drastically.
Highs in the 50s stick through the weekend and even into early next week. And we approach 60 again by Tuesday. So, well above average for this time of year.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you can expect rain, though, throughout the weekend. Some places could get close to 2 inches in the southern part of the state, but less than that further north. Sean Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indy Metro Police have arrested Zach Thompson for his involvement in a homicide last July. Police labeled him as a person of interest in a fatal shooting off Wallace Avenue east of downtown, and they say they were able to gather enough information over the last 5 months to arrest Thompson. He's got a hearing set for January 3rd. Southwest Airlines says things should be getting back to normal soon. Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports.
After thousands of flights were canceled between Wednesday and Thursday, leaving people across the country frustrated and stranded, Southwest Airlines says it expects to return to normal operations Friday. The company has admitted to having technology that doesn't put flight crews in the right position when bad weather hits, adding the system is in need of an upgrade to avoid another mass cancellation. The Department of Transportation has demanded the company provide prompt refunds to those who've had their flights canceled. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
International soccer star Pelé passed away today at the age of 82. The Brazilian died in his home country about a month after being hospitalized because of an illness. Pelé is considered to be one of the greatest soccer players in history, claiming more than 1,000 goals and winning 3 World Cups, the first of which he won at the age of 17. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
It was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of. It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Communities in Schools vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesinschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
With traffic at 334, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Southeast side, just a bad-looking crash here on southbound 465 on the exit to Brookville Road. That ramp is closed. The ramp completely shut down southbound to Brookville Road, US 52. Right now, stop-and-go traffic in those southbound lanes from I-70 down to Brookville Road. And on the north side, westbound 465, slowing up from Meridian over to Michigan Road. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Steady temperatures throughout the night tonight, mid and upper 50s. Showers develop later tonight, so it stays mild and breezy. Tomorrow, rain will be likely, and it'll be breezy once again. Temperatures begin to fall into the lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Yeah, I'm Nigel. Brian Baker's in for Hammer, and Hammer is on the drivehubler.com hotline. Hambone, how's it going, man?
Well, Big Nige, remember this. You can't spell Siegel without two L's, and that's what that dumpster diver has taken this entire story about Camp Atterbury.
Let's start at the beginning, because I know you and Brian are both fired up about this, and I am too. When that original story from Bob Siegel and WTHR ran, my wife and I were both watching. I had no idea it was coming on, and afterwards, my wife just looked at me and said, they mentioned Hammer's name a lot more than they did yours. I'm like, well, it's not a contest.
Well, the thing is, guys,
she was like mad.
You had no idea that story was coming on because they didn't reach out to us. Now,
right.
They're trying to make the claim, WTHR, Channel 13, Bob Siegel, they're trying to make the claim, well, we reached out to management and nobody got back with us. How about you reach out to Hammer and Nigel? Because I guarantee you we would have got back with you.
We were the ones that had to reach out to him. Remember? Hold on. Let's just back up. Let's just back up here. And start, and Hammer, I'll let you have the floor. Just maybe start from the beginning, and then we'll explain where we're at with this thing now.
So when the Afghan refugees were being sent to various places in the United States, Camp Atterbury was one of the locations. And a lot of these refugees got there. And all we kept hearing from local media, predominantly television, throughout the city of Indianapolis was, oh, this is great. What a humanitarian story. Hoosiers helping Hoosiers. The governor was all in on it. It was a feel-good story. Well, I started getting some messages from some folks that were at Camp Atterbury, boots-on-the-ground folks that I trust very much. And it was more than one. And they were saying, yeah, it's not just kids playing soccer here. That's happening. Kids are playing soccer, but we got a lot of problems, too. We've got some cultural differences. There's a lot of poop and feces. There's fighting. We're hearing reports that some of these, refugees are sneaking off campus.
Vandalism.
Giving license plates and trying to steal things from the local stores. There's cultural differences between men and women, to put it mildly. So we mentioned that on our show, and like the next day, you've got Channel 13's Verified segment, which, real quick, before I move on, isn't some sort of local thing they do. This is a national cookie-cutter program that airs in every single market that has an NBC affiliate across this country, ordered from the top. They have to do this. So they put the guy best known as being the dumpster diver, Bob Siegel, on the story. And to kind of shame us, they speak to the folks at Camp Atterbury. And I was shocked, Nige, when the folks at Camp Atterbury said there was nothing shady going on at Camp Atterbury.
So, yeah, they get a hold of a PR. They get a hold of some PR flacks and say, no, everything's fine. There's no vandalism. Everything's, when in reality now, there's a story that just came out that Well, the Pentagon is writing checks to military bases all over the country, including Camp Atterbury. This one for $16 million for damages caused by the large number of people. Significant damages to the barracks.
This would be like if Bob Siegel and Channel 13 did their Verify segment. Well, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard say everything's fine with the Indianapolis Colts, so we're just going to take their word for it.
So after Hammer's had his say, I'd like to make a few comments about this as well.
We got plenty of time.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'm furious about this because, as you guys remember, I mean, I wrote the original article. I didn't think much about it, right? But then WTHR decided that everything that was said, that this was just all about racism. And so they do their little, dog and just this stupid little the Verify segment. So I took it upon myself because it appeared as though no one else had any interest in actually talking to the people directly at Camp Atterbury and getting the real story and finding out what the facts are. So I reached out. I reached out to people that were flaming us online. I talked to them about it. What have you heard? I talked to someone who was extremely high up within the organization and got the scoop from him. And it turned out that, yep, a lot of the stuff that we were reporting was in fact happening. In addition to that, there were other incidents that took place that we didn't even report. A lot of things that were going on behind the scenes, I chose not to bring into the discussion at that point in time because it becomes such a dumpster fire, and I was waiting to get the official confirmation. So there was stuff that I held back, and you guys remember I came on the air and pushed back on you on this story because I was trying to calm things down and bring a balanced perspective into it. Now we find out that not only the individual that I spoke to who was high up and told me some of the really disturbing things that were happening behind the scenes, but also their official spokesperson who was there for like half a day, took a little stroll and then got back on a plane. She's in there. Oh no, everything's fine. There's some cultural differences, but it's just so heartwarming. I got a problem with that because I think the primary reason they did this and they justified it in their own minds was, well, we don't want to have any security issues. And, we've got a lot to manage down here. Bull crap. When the American people are footing the bill for this stuff, we have a right to know exactly what's happening down there, all right? This is on our turf. It's in our backyard, and you had a responsibility to be truthful, not just sugarcoat things, not hold stuff back in hopes that, you were dealing with such a mess you didn't want to bring any issue into additional issues into the situation. And on top of that, this is not just people pooping wherever they like. Take a look at some of these photos. There is intentional damage that was inflicted on these buildings, and it is not just locally. 16 million. I mean, what's the total, guys, across the United States?
260 million. It's 260 million in barracks damages.
260 million. So I'm a little fired up about it.
So Hammer, one of the things that Bob, it's hilarious watching Bob Siegel tweet about this now. He hasn't tweeted since December.
He's melting down on Twitter. He is so
funny.
Butthurt. It's fantastic.
He hasn't tweeted since December 22nd, and now he's just all upset. One of the things he said, okay, so all right, so that they run that special or whatever it was called, the Verify segment, and they never reached out to us, to you. I mean, I guess he left a message on our boss's voicemail, and our boss, we actually had to reach out to him and tell us what that conversation was like. I'm sure Bob was shocked when he got that phone call from you.
Two things here. Number one, the conversation I had with Bob Siegel on the phone was actually somewhat cordial. I think, to be fair, to be 100% fair, I do think he wanted to come on. And that was going to be great. We were going to have some things out there. At least that's what I was told. But his management said, no, we stand by our story and blah, blah, blah. And the thing that bothers me the most, two things. Number one, some of the criticism that we hear is, well, there's nobody that can back up Hammer and Nigel's claims. Yeah, you know why? Because the folks that we spoke to were currently, boots on the ground at Camp Atterbury. If they would have said anything, they risked their careers. So, of course, they're not going to come on the record. And number two, all right, you reached out to our bosses. They didn't get back with you. Again, why not reach out to me? I am the easiest guy in the world to find. I'm on TV 7 days a week. I'm on radio 5 days a week. I go to ball games. I go to concerts. I'm in the community. I'm on social media. Come at your boy. I'm easy to find unless you don't want to find me.
I mean, it completely discredits the entire thing almost that he never even tried to get a hold of you or attempt to come on with us Yeah,
and
it's easy.
Would have went on with Channel 13. I would have been more than happy to go on there, but no, I didn't get that opportunity.
And Brian, and here's the thing too, like you never presented these things as fact. It was you were relaying stories from people. Hey, look, here's what I'm hearing down there. This is what they're saying. I think we even relayed some stories that refuted that. And
yes.
And it was never presented as fact, but we were smeared as fear-mongering and racists and everything else. And it looks like it was pretty chaotic down there, quite frankly. $16 million worth of damage.
Well, and actually, I think that as that story continued and, snowballed into something else, we handled it very responsibly. Not only that, but I think we were very balanced on it. You guys, to your credit, brought me on and I pushed back on some of those claims. Yeah. But guys, I'm telling you, there was an awful lot that I didn't share on the air because I didn't want to, cause a bigger mass problem here with THR and with some of the folks that were attacking us. And I really have to wonder now whether I made the right decision on that because I was trying to be responsible. But I'm telling you, I was talking with someone who was there on a daily basis who was telling me some pretty disturbing stories. And I held him back because I was waiting to get the official confirmation from the person that was there for about 6 hours, kicked a soccer ball, and then got back on a plane.
And Nigel, we've mentioned Bob Siegel because it was Channel 13 that ran this ridiculous story. And again, their whole angle, for those who haven't seen it, was, well, Camp Atterbury says everything's fine at Camp Atterbury. All right, fine. That's laughable in itself. But there were other media folks in this city who kind of piled on too. That little butt sniffer from Fox 59, what's his name? Dan Spieler. He was real snarky and sarcastic on his little weekend show that nobody watches and jumping on social media.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't forget these types of things.
And then Bob Siegel saying on Twitter real quick, and then we can end this, but he said you never relayed the conversation that you had with him to our audience, which is a complete lie.
We talked about it.
Yeah,
we talked about it. I just told you about it. We had a conversation. He laid out who his sources were. I said, why didn't you reach out to me? He said, well, I reached out to your boss. Why didn't you reach out to me? Never got a good answer. And, of course, the people that are telling us the information, they could not go on the record because they would get in trouble from Camp Atterbury. And local officials were involved in this. The folks down by Columbus and that area, they played ball because they knew how much money was ultimately going to come in. Atterbury wasn't doing this for free because they believed in the cause. There was some cash flow coming in, and now because of damages, they're getting $16+ million.
That's a big number. All right, man, what are you doing for New Year's? You staying in town? You headed out? What's going on?
So New Year's Eve, I'm going to be here in Indy. The boys and I, we're going to go watch the Pacers and have some food and do that kind of stuff. New Year's Day, we're loading up the old family truckster and we're going down to Nashville.
Oh, right on.
This is the birthday gift to my youngest. He's got a birthday around Christmas, so we usually do something special for him, not only on his birthday but after. We're going down to Nashville for a couple days, and we'll be at Monday Night Raw.
Well, hey, that's awesome. Jealous. Well, you guys have fun. Happy New Year. Give my love to Crystal and the boys, and we'll see you back here next week, bud.
Don't go diving into any dumpsters tonight, Brian.
That's all right. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, it's Casey, and on behalf of the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC, I'd like to wish you a happy and safe New Year, and thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your lives. We'll see you back here Tuesday, January 3rd, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Drip. Drip. Drip.
Annoying, isn't it?
Drip.
It's even worse when it's coming from your fireplace.
Drip.
That water stain on the ceiling isn't going to fix itself. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana. Their certified technicians will make sure your fireplace is ready for reliable comfort this season. Stop the
drip.
Call the experts trusted by thousands of Indiana homeowners. Call Chimney Solutions Indiana at 317-757-6979 or go to chimneyindy.com.
AES Indiana is dedicated to providing you with smart energy solutions that power our lives. Our energy efficiency programs help you save energy and money, from rebates on lighting and smart thermostats to appliance pickup and recycling. You can take advantage of cleaner, more cost-effective energy solutions right here, right now. To get more information on how to save money on your energy bill this winter, visit aesindiana.com. AES Indiana, we are accelerating the future of energy together.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Rise and shine with delicious morning deals like 2 for $5 breakfast. Choose from the tasty sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin. Any 2 for just $5. Breakfast hours only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, we're experienced in everything from boilers to furnaces, ductwork and all. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. And financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars January 19th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss 5:30, stop smoking 8 p.m. Or January 21st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Celebrate great savings at Mattress Firm's Dreamcember sale. Get a king for a queen price or a queen for a twin and save up to $700 on select mattresses.
Matt Baer, what's up with traffic?
Nigel, looking at the southeast side ramp closed. Southbound 465 to Brookville Road, US 52 because of a crash involving a pickup truck pulling a trailer. We are stop and go back to I-70. Also a crash on the north side. Westbound 465 at Michigan Road. Vehicle in a ditch off the right shoulder backed up to Meridian. And a crash going northbound 69 to 82nd Street. That is moved out of the interstate. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
The 4 days flew by like a
favorite Zac Brown band. First song I ever heard by them. Toes in the Sand. It's never too early to start talking about the summer concert season 2023. Got a pair of Zac Brown band tickets. August 6th, Ruoff Music Center. If you want to be caller 9 right now, 239-9393, you can go. Are you... Brian, I think we talked about this before. Are you a concert goer? Are you and your wife frequent music lovers, live music?
Here's the thing. I love live music, and I love music in general, Nige, but I was never a big concert goer. Every time that I managed to go to one, I love it. I have a great time, and I'm glad that I went. For whatever reason, like that was never something that I did on a regular basis. Now, of course, I regret it. There's so many great bands that I missed out on over the years.
My wife and I went to the Tedeschi Trucks Band in the summer downtown White River, which was awesome. Derek Trucks, amazing. Susan Tedeschi is an amazing singer. Derek Trucks, amazing guitar player. So that was awesome. It's the last one I've been to.
Last concert I went to was Kenny G in concert with Michael Bolton. Boy, was that a rip-roaring good time.
You're not. Are you being? I don't know if you're being.
I'm being 100% serious. I really did. And to Kenny G's credit, because there's not a whole lot you can do when you're blowing the sax. He came out into the audience and was walking around right there. It sold out at Deer Creek. So yeah, it might be time for me to get
wow
my game, my
Michael
concert game
Bolton
a little bit.
and Kenny G was the last concert.
But you forget they were huge at the time, man.
My mind is blown right now. Hey,
in fairness, I didn't buy the ticket myself.
We got a couple minutes left here. Real quick stat. Half of all Americans, according to this new survey, felt 51% hide out in their bathroom when they want some much-needed peace and quiet. About 2,000 people took this survey. Basically, the more people that are in the house, the more frequently it happens. Parents with kids still living in the house are 3 times as likely to seek refuge in the bathroom. Have you ever done this before, Brian?
Well, I have escaped to the bathroom, but primarily I'm fortunate, man. Like, my wife is so generous. She let me have my own room for my my hi-fi setup, my stereo. So I go in, I listen to my vinyl, and I reset. That is my therapy. But my wife constantly is escaping to the bathroom. She goes in there with her glass of wine, has a bath, and I think that's the story for a lot of moms out there. It's like, I love them. I just need to get away for a moment. Just 2 seconds.
My wife always accuses me of hiding in the bathroom. We have 2 kids, one about to turn 11. Another 8, and it's just because of how long I spend in there. I mean, I'm doing business in the bathroom. I'm not messing around. I'm not trying to hide.
You're not doing your business and tweeting?
No, I might be tweeting. Sure, yeah. I've been known to bring the laptop in there before, and if I'm backed up and trying to prepare for the show, but that makes and every time I do try to think I get some privacy, especially when the kids are small, you see that little tiny hand reach under the crack of the door.
Oh yeah,
like they're trying to murder you or something like that. You can't even get any peace and quiet. All right, more coming up after 4:00. It's the Hammer and Nigel show on 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion. Trust me, I know about joint pain.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith, talks about chronic joint pain and exciting new regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics.
I know what it's like to fight through pain, but now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced, all-natural regenerative medicine that can give you lasting relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Do you suffer with constant pain from arthritis or injury? Pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or lower back? Don't assume steroids, pain meds, and surgery are your only options. Regenerative, restorative, natural solutions are now available.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love.
Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation and learn how regenerative medicine can repair and restore damaged joint tissue.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
Hi, this is Danny Reinhardt from Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. From everyone in our family, Kevin, Kim, Corey, Stumpy, Brian, and Morgan, we would like to wish your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and please enjoy the holidays. If you do have any emergency services, don't forget to call us at 317-745-4526.
If you're out in Hendricks County, the family to call is Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Hello, Richard Michaelis, President of Michaelis Corporation, wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. For over 3 decades, the Michaelis team has helped Central Indiana families and businesses facing fire, water, and storm damage. And because emergencies don't take days off, neither do we. If the unexpected happens this holiday season, we're here for you with our 24/7 rapid disaster response service. Because life happens, water, storms, fire, and foundations, make it Michaelis. 844-FIX-INDY.
Buy 4 tires and get up to $200 in savings after rebate at Bell Tire's year-end sale. Or get even more in Bell Tire gift cards. December 26th through January 7th. Plus, get tires as low as $49 after rebate. Get up to $200 in savings. Or get even more in gift cards. December 26th through January 7th. Get up to $200 in savings and choose the lowest tire price period at Bell Tire. 100 years of getting folks safely back on the road fast and affordably. See store or belltire.com for details. Restrictions apply.
We say Merry Christmas at R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. We recently saved one of Indy's oldest small businesses over $5,000 per month on their group coverage for 10 employees. We are saving early retiring clients 50% when compared to their COBRA coverage. Now they can afford to retire. You've been told the ACA, you know it's still Obamacare, is your only option on individual coverage. If you're sick and you don't have any income, that's true. If you are reasonably healthy and have a livable household income, the ACA is your worst option. You've also been told if enrolled, you must keep your coverage for a year. That is also not true. Don't let the federal government or the big insurance company cronies tell you that you don't have a choice. Call us at 317-435-1718 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-435-1718 or rragency.org. We can help. Give us a call. What do you got to lose? As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, $5 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, your weekend forecast is a lot different this time around. John Herrick reports on a former Purdue football player who's been arrested, and Indy Metro Police have arrested a man who's accused of being involved in a homicide all the way from July. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. It's 58 and cloudy in the Circle now. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Hammered by more attacks. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. Russia launching a barrage of missiles and drones.
The air defense is working quite well. Even before the Ukrainians start using the Patriot missile defense system, they say that 69 cruise missiles were launched today. Only 15 got through, and all 11 Iranian-made drones were shot down. But there is damage to critical infrastructure, and 2 people were killed in Kharkiv.
Fox's Nate Foy in Kyiv. Southwest Airlines expects to return to normal operations tomorrow after slashing about 2/3 of its schedule in recent days. The airline's struggling to recover from the weekend storm that left hundreds of pilots and flight attendants stranded. Many Long Island residents are calling for a newly elected representative to resign before taking office.
New York free, Santos free.
Residents of New York's 3rd Congressional District say George Santos should not be sworn in as a U.S. House member next week. Santos admitted lying about his education, work history, and a Jewish heritage. While Nassau County officials have opened an investigation, the national GOP has largely kept quiet. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Soccer legend Pele has died.
Growing up in poverty in Brazil, his first balls were usually grapefruits or socks stuffed with newspaper, but a young 15-year-old phenom from Sao Paulo would get his chance to play for Santos FC. Pele would lead Santos to 6 national titles, going on to be at the core of a Brazilian national squad that dominated the World Cup stage with wins in 1958, 1962, and 1970. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
The Vatican says Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI is lucid, conscious, and stable, but his condition remains serious. That a day after officials revealed that the 95-year-old's health had deteriorated recently. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A lot different than last week. Cloudy and 58 degrees on Monument Circle with nothing on radar. You've got a low of 52 tonight with some chances for rain. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Rain and strong winds are 2 things you can expect to see in most of the state beginning today.
With the warm temperatures comes the rain, and we're going to get a lot of it, Thursday, Friday, into Saturday, and then again next week.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service says wind gusts could reach about 40 miles an hour at times today. Most places will get around an inch of rain through Sunday. Accused of attacking a neighbor because of an argument over a video game is a former Purdue football player. John Herrick reports.
Police say Chike O'Keefer broke into his neighbor's home in Lafayette and started fighting with him Tuesday night. The neighbor says O'Keefer body slammed him, threw him against a wall, and karate chopped him after being asked to leave. O'Keefer was arrested on several charges. Police say the argument was about the video game Fortnite that one of O'Keefer's sons had been playing lying online against his neighbor's son. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Indy Metro Police have arrested Zach Thompson for his involvement in a homicide that happened last July. Police labeled Thompson as a person of interest in the fatal shooting that happened off Wallace Avenue east of downtown. They were able to gather enough information the last 5 months to arrest him, say police. Thompson has a hearing set for January 3rd. The historic Riley Park shelter house in Greenfield was destroyed in a fire. Jaden Arnold reports.
No one was inside the building at the time of the fire because an aerobics class that was scheduled to take place had been canceled. Officials believe the fire started near the attic, but the exact cause is still under investigation. The community is saddened by the loss of the shelter house, which was a popular gathering place for programs and events, but grateful no one was harmed. Park directors are working to relocate programs to other buildings in the area. Jaden Arnold, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas in Indiana today is $3.02 per gallon of regular, according to Gas Buddy. That's an increase of 7 cents from where that average was on Monday. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Feel like you're riding an economic roller coaster? All the whiplash has likely wreaked havoc on your investment portfolio, maybe even derailing your future plans. It's unpredictable, uncertain, and unsettling. It's time to regain your footing with a second opinion from Edelman Financial Engines. We're Barron's #1 rated independent financial advisory firm 5 years running. So you can be confident you're getting integrated wealth management advice, including tax planning, estate planning, insurance, and more from an experienced and trusted investment advisory firm. Take advantage of a complimentary wealth checkup with a planner who puts your needs first. There's no sales pressure and no obligation. When it comes to your financial well-being, you can count on the top-rated independent financial advisory firm in the nation. Visit Edelman Financial Engines at efewealthplanners.com. That's efewealthplanners.com. Barron's rating awarded annually each September 2018 to 2022. Compensation paid for distribution of rating.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Baer.
East side crash on the ramp from southbound 465 to Brookville Road, US 52. The ramp has reopened. You can use it, but the right lane is blocked. Traffic is slow back to I-70. North side, westbound 465 crash after Michigan Road. Right lane blocked, vehicle in a ditch. Traffic stop and go back to Meridian, US 31. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Celebrate great savings at Mattress Firm's Dream December sale. Get a king for queen price or a queen for a twin and save up to $700 on select mattresses. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Steady temperatures throughout the night tonight, mid and upper 50s. Showers develop later tonight, so it stays mild and breezy. Tomorrow, rain will be likely, and it'll be breezy once again. Temperatures begin to fall into the lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
On 93 WIBC.
So let's rock it!
Brian Baker's filling in for Hammer. I'm Nigel. So the United States is going to start testing people coming into the country from China again. COVID-19 testing. They're going to ramp those up. China has been going through draconian, oppressive lockdowns for years. The zero COVID policy over there, Brian, as you well know. They're trying to stamp it out, but it just goes to show it didn't work. People were rioting in the streets, and so they opened the country back up. Nobody's caught COVID because of these ridiculous lockdown policies, and now everybody's got it. Everybody's got it. I mean, you've seen, and there's looks like a lot of death, an older population, an aging population in China. Nobody has an immune system anymore. Nobody, they can't reach herd immunity, and it's a huge problem. And so now not only are, China has said they're resuming issuing passports for its people to go to the United States. So they're going to come here and get us sick all over again.
Yeah, well, I have a couple of thoughts on this. Number one, Nigel, it's good to know that it is a universal challenge around the world that government officials are just geniuses when it comes to interpreting scientific and medical data and distributing that data to the American people or to their own people like in China. But on top of that, man, I am a little bit excited to know that we're going to be doing this testing here because I'm hoping, does this mean we're going to be getting some of those butt-sniffing COVID dogs? Because I don't generally fly.
Yeah, I forgot
but I
about
would buy
that
me
story.
a ticket and go out I'd like to go out and see that, man.
The dogs, the German Shepherds or whatever, the security dogs could actually smell the COVID if they sniff your butt. Yeah, they sniff. They had that outside of where the Miami Heat play, I believe, down in Florida. That's like a real thing. You're not joking about that. And the other real thing that China did was the COVID anal swabs.
Yeah,
that's a very accurate test to find out if you get the Rona. Over there.
How'd you like?
But just does it.
You've seen people getting on planes, though. How would you like to be the person that was charged with that duty? I mean, how many folks get on a plane without even showering? Oh, my. I mean, I hope those people got counseling built into their
It just shows you,
healthcare
it really
deal.
shows you how worthless and wrong the lockdowns were here in the United States. I mean, China did them, and they still couldn't keep it. And now they have just a gigantic problem on their hands because nobody was getting COVID, or at least they didn't reach herd immunity. People were still getting it, but no. And now their hospitals are overwhelmed, and just a complete disaster. And again, they're going to send. They're allowing these people to travel again to the United States, where it's they're going to try to get. Luckily, I think we've reached a certain level of immunity here in the United States, especially. I mean, say what you want about the vaccines, whether they work or not. But I mean, I've probably how many times have you had COVID?
I've had it twice, and I have been vaccinated, and I think I've had a total of 3 boosters. And I've learned a lot through this process of everyone being ridiculously over careful, Nige, particularly in the film industry, which will be the last industry to let this thing go. China will be all loose, and the filmmakers here will say, "Hey, we're going to protect everybody." I found out that, you got your PCR test and then your antigen tests, and both of them nasal swabs, right? Well, the PCR tests are supposed to be more accurate. Yeah. However, if you've had COVID, and I learned this the hard way because it wound up costing me work, if you've had COVID, even if you're no longer contagious and you're completely over it, you can still test positive on a PCR for up to 30 to 60 to 90 days.
It's ridiculous. It's because they're so sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, and so in that case, the antigen test is going to be more accurate. And I've been swabbed so many times, and the hysteria around this and the way that the government put people in utter fear, really, to a large extent, was one of the challenges that the hospitals were experiencing. They were being overwhelmed because you scared them to death to the point where you get the sniffles or you're just having allergies, and they're rushing to the ER.
In other news, Southwest claims that they are going to be back to normal by tomorrow, but 60% of Southwest flights canceled today. This wasn't just a function of bad weather either. It was, I'm going to play a clip here. It's about 5 minutes long. If you missed the entire thing, you got to go to WIBC.com, click on Hammer and Nigel, listen to our entire conversation that we had yesterday with former commercial airline pilot Mike Hatton. He had an idea, a sense, and a perspective of what is currently happening with Southwest.
What I'm seeing and the things that I'm hearing from their messaging, which frankly, Southwest messaging has been very soft, and that's very common for the airlines, and they just think things like this will go away, but this one's not. The main thing I'm hearing, this is a technology problem. They did not invest in technology when they merged and grew exponentially. Their systems can't keep up with it, and that's training systems, that is booking systems, reservation systems, and the crews have not been able to communicate with scheduling. They can't get a hold of crews. They can't get pilots and flight attendants moved into position for other flights. This is the worst I have ever seen. And you guys know me. You've had me on the show before.
Yeah.
I usually try to walk a very fine line, balanced, not criticize the airlines too hard, not criticize the employees or the unions. But this is one where Southwest has been woefully inadequate in their response to this, in my opinion. And I don't speak for any airlines or any employee group.
You know, Mike, it surprises me, though, because Southwest has been an airline that I've flown hundreds of times. And I've not necessarily experienced any problems. Maybe to reschedule here or there, or maybe a delay. But you're telling me this is all coming to a head now? Why haven't they had to deal with this problem necessarily this bad before? Why is it just coming? Why is it just poking its head out now?
It's been patchwork.
Okay.
The weather hasn't been as bad as it has this time. This has been, a pretty significant weather event around, and they just aren't able to do this. Denver is hit really hard. Midway is hit really hard, which is what's affecting you. I think you have a lot of flights out of Indianapolis that go through Midway. And some employees I have seen in Denver have been asked to submit sick slips from doctors if they were sick. Now, this is, they call it the tridemic, the RSV, the COVID, the flu.
Sure.
And, the employees are stretched thin, and they have declared the emergency operation conditions there where they can require legally employees to submit a sick slip like you're in the third grade.
What is a recourse here? We're speaking with the former commercial airline pilot, one of our buddies, Mike Hatton, here on the Hammer and Nigel show. Mike, Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary, has been on TV today talking tough. Biden administration talking tough. We're going to investigate this. But really, what are they going to be able to do realistically, do you think, when we're talking about a government investigation?
Well, this is an excellent question. And it's been my experience that the government really likes to work with the airlines. They try to balance regulatory enforcement along with economic growth, too. They don't want to harm the airlines economically. And as long as you show that you're trying as an airline and you don't embarrass the government, they will work with you and they won't treat you too harshly. But when you embarrass the government, it's been my experience as a manager when I was at the airline, they will come in and they will hit you with a hammer, no pun intended, hit you very hard with that. And I think that can be done in this case and may be done. And that can be in the form of heavy fines. They can reevaluate routes. They can look at applications for new routes and maybe look at those in a different light, less favorable than they would have before all this happened. There's a number of levers they can pull.
Yeah, and Mike, I bet you can empathize with this as a former pilot yourself, or former commercial pilot, and that is that I've seen some posts, and it's social media, so you don't quite know what's authentic and what's not. But I've seen a bunch of different posts that are very similar in content, and they are essentially from primarily pilots, the one I've seen, but some other crew members as well, that are saying, listen, we've been impacted by this too. We are stuck in airports. We can't get flights. We can't get airplanes. And when even walking through the airport in uniform, they seem to get the hateful looks from people essentially saying, aha, these are the crews that don't want to work, or the crews that are in a labor dispute or something, and we're paying the price as passengers. And what I've seen repeatedly in this instance, specifically with Southwest, is the crews and the pilots in particular are expressing as much frustration as the passengers, saying, look, we've been stranded places we don't want to be. We can't get hotel rooms. We got people sleeping in hotel lobbies in cities where they don't live. And it's frustrating for them that they, to some degree, are getting blamed for it by passengers who may not have the full picture.
You're absolutely right. And by the way, thank you for mentioning that there are other groups than the pilots, because they work just as hard and in many cases harder. If you think about it, the flight attendants are the first face that people see when they get on the airplane and the last face they see when they get off. They are the first and last chance for those passengers to have a good experience, and they are taking it hard from a passenger attitude standpoint on this. Pilots and flight attendants want to see people have a good flight, even in times of labor turmoil. There will always be labor turmoil, and it will always get worked out. But the one thing that we always wanted to do, and I've been through it, is make sure that passengers had a good experience, because we tell our people we're training at the airlines, there's always somebody in the back of that airplane that it's their first time they've ever flown. They're going to a funeral. They're going to a wedding. They're going to see a relative that they may never see again who's ill, and we want those people to have as good an experience as they can.
There you go. That was a quick, just a 5-minute segment of an interview, of a longer interview we did with a former commercial airline pilot, Mike Hatton, yesterday. The gun guy was filling in there. It's just absolutely fascinating. One of my favorite guests. If you missed that or anything else, go to, you can go to iTunes, download our podcast. You go to WIBC.com. You go to the show's page, click on Hammer and Nigel. You can find all that stuff right there. Matt Bear, what's up with traffic?
North side, Nigel, we're stopped. Westbound 465 from Meridian 30. 131 past Michigan Road. That's because of a crash. Right lane blocked. We have a vehicle off in the ravine there, and they're fishing them out right now. We are looking at the east side, southbound 465, crash at Brookville Road. It's on the ramp. It's on the off-ramp to Brookville Road. Right lane is blocked, on the ramp slow. Back to I-70. Crash, 56th Street at Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by InvisibleFence.com. For 50 years, Invisible Fence brand has offered custom trading for each pet on their systems, resulting in a 99% success rate and more than 3 million pets protected. Learn more at InvisibleFence.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up next, our last edition of Is This Anything for 2022. Right now, 57 and cloudy at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Kendall and Casey.
The left's bad guy, Matt Taibbi.
Right.
They're just totally discrediting him. It's black and white.
That's what they do because it's the fear and intimidation. Our country, people who had everything to lose, who put it all on the line and in many cases lost it all to create the foundation of this country.
Families, they were committing treason and they knew it, but they determined it was worth it for them.
Kendall and Casey, weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Man, I'm telling you, Diamonds Direct is the place to go if you're celebrating an anniversary, a huge life event. You got a birthday coming up, maybe a winter engagement. There's no better place to shop than Diamonds Direct over at Keystone of the Crossing. My wife and I have made several purchases there over the years. We love that place. And this holiday season, Diamonds Direct has put together their most impressive selection of can't-miss gifts. I'm talking rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and bands for every taste and every price range. And don't worry about higher prices and high interest rates because at Diamonds Direct right now, they've got your back with that guaranteed best value pricing. And check this out, 3 years, 0 interest financing on any holiday purchase. That's right, 0 interest financing. So that $5,000 Eternity Band is just over $138 a month. More details at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
It's Terry Stacy, and when I hear the word free, my ears perk up a little bit. So listen to this December deal from Exercise Inc., the 20-minute once-a-week workout that will change your life. Sign up right now in December, mention WIBC, and you get 2 sessions free. Now, most people gain 5 pounds during the holidays and then spend the next 5 months trying to lose it. Don't be that person. Come to Exercise Inc. in December, and you'll get a coach who will help you get stronger, feel better, and start losing weight right now. You'll increase your metabolism, you'll feel fantastic, and enjoy the holidays a whole lot more. Don't wait until January. Give yourself a gift that truly will change your life. Exercise Inc. for all ages, no crowded gym, and you'll have a coach that's by your side during your 20-minute once-a-week workout. Exercise Inc.'s December deal at all 4 locations. Sign up now, mention WIBC, and get 2 free sessions. Visit exerciseinc.com for a location near you. Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest-rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career. In just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. And financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is This Anything? On 93 WIBC.
Brian Baker, you have the pleasure and the honor of participating in the last Is This Anything of 2022. I've collected some of my favorite Is This Anything stories over the past year. I'm going to hit them with you, and you're going to tell me if they're anything or not. This one is, I know you're a guy that worked in them as a server for a long time. I'm curious as to what you think. This is one of my favorite stories. The Olive Garden manager in Kansas got fired after sending employees a crazy email about sick days. It said she'd no longer be tolerating any excuses for calling off. If anyone tried to call out sick more than once this month, they'd be fired. And, quote, if you're sick, you need to come prove it to us. If your dog died, you need to bring him in and prove it to us. I got to tell you, I have a problem with this. I like the boss laying a hammer down. Olive Garden fired this manager. I think they were wrong. Tell me what you think about that.
I got mixed feelings about this, Nige, because I think I've shared this story before. When I first got out to California and I had an internship at CBS, and one of the things that they told me at the beginning was, listen, we don't care if your dog died, your mom died, your wife left you got diagnosed with cancer, and your car was stolen. If you're 15 minutes late, if you're 5 minutes late, you're fired. Jeez. Now, let me tell you something. I didn't ever show up late. Yeah. I was always there regardless of what was happening in traffic. That said, that was CBS. That was a good gig. That was a good internship.
True.
Now, I love and cherish Olive Garden and their commitment to demonstrating Italian hospitaliano and their quality food at affordable prices. But that ain't exactly a dream gig that's going to help you pay off your student loan debt. It's a survival job. So thinking about the fact that there's a shortage in the labor market and they're having trouble filling these positions, I think maybe the corporation made the right decision in letting her go. Clearly a gal who just had enough and was having some trouble emotionally regulating.
Maybe they went overboard a little bit, but I think it still speaks to the problem of it's hard to find good help right now.
Oh, absolutely.
People are calling off it. You got to be a hard ass about it. And I think, okay, I agree. That maybe went over the line with, if your dog dies, you got to bring it in.
But I like her. I wouldn't
too.
mind having a beer with her. She's my kind of gal. Has a good old-fashioned temper tantrum.
Okay, this is another one from earlier this month that I thought was hilarious. It's a holiday tradition that someone somewhere will get stuck under a Christmas tree. Here's a woman in Wales was stringing up lights in her living room. When the tree fell on top of her, her daughters heard her calling out and screaming. Here's what happened when they came into the room.
Hey! Mum? Yes, that's me! Oh my God! Don't!
Brian, I was immediately struck by the fact that they hear their mom screaming for help in the other room, and they immediately fired up their phones. Their first instinct was to grab their phones and start videotaping for TikTok. Is this anything?
Yeah, man. I mean, this makes me, that audio makes me sick.
She's
we've all
okay.
talked about.
She was okay.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it sounded to me like she was in distress in that moment. And it does. It kind of shows how the smartphone is eating away at our humanity. I saw an image on Twitter the other day of it was a Photoshop thing. It was the Titanic going down. And then all the people that were in the water and in the lifeboats had their smartphones out capturing the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something, man. I'm glad to say. I mean, have you ever had any major catastrophes in your household when it comes to holiday decorations? You ever fallen off the roof or anything, putting up lights?
No. We cheated this year, and we paid a guy to put some basic lights on our roof. That's the first time we've ever done anything like that. So no injuries here at all. Let's skip, Sam. Let's go to this one about the Southwest flight for our last one here. Listen to this Southwest flight attendant. Speaking of Southwest, all the problems they've been having. This is a Southwest flight attendant singing a full throttle version of I Will Always Love You at 6 a.m. on a flight. The person who filmed it posted a bunch of the performance. This kind of gives you a good idea how loud she was at 6 in the morning. I mean, okay, so is that what you want to hear as a passenger on an airplane? It's first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock?
No, because first and foremost, I love Dolly Parton's rendition, but ever since Whitney Houston recorded her version, I hated that song with a passion, man. It's one of the worst songs ever. And no, I don't want to hear it. And you know that this woman, this is not the first time that she's pulled this off. This is probably like her shtick. She does it all the time, and her coworkers hate her guts.
I don't want, just at 6 o'clock. I don't want that at 6 o'clock at night. I mean, I know Southwest.
I don't want a show.
The airline attendants have a tendency to put on kind of a show, and it's cute sometimes, but that right there is a little much, especially for 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, it's the Hammer and Nigel Show, 93 WIBC.
Hello. This is a message from the office of Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. Are you having an issue with any federal agency or need help navigating the complex federal bureaucracy? If so, if you live in Indiana's 5th Congressional District, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has 2 district offices here to assist you with Social Security issues, Medicare claims, veterans benefits, IRS issues, passport applications, Service Academy appointments, and a variety of other services. Representative Spartz's Northeast office is located in downtown Anderson across from the Paramount Theater, and her Southwest office is located in downtown Carmel on Main Street next to the Monon Trail. Again, if you are having issues with any federal agency, Representative Victoria Spartz's office is here to assist you. You can call Representative Spartz's office at 317-848-0201 or submit your inquiries at her website, spartz.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Rise and shine with delicious morning deals like 2 for $5 breakfast. Choose from the tasty sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin. Any 2 for just $5. Breakfast hours only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Dave Magine with B&W Plumbing and Heating. We all know Santa doesn't fix furnaces, but B&W Plumbing and Heating does. We're here to be sure you have a warm and enjoyable Christmas. Check us out at bigblacktrucks.com or call us at 317-243-3581. That's 317-243-3581. And from our family to yours, Merry Christmas, everyone. And remember the reason for the season.
B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The countdown to the new year has begun, and there's still time to invest in your child's or grandchild's future education with Indiana College Choice 529 savings plans. Open an account and make a contribution by December 31st, and you could receive a 20% Indiana state tax credit worth up to $1,000. Giving is receiving. Open an account and contribute today. Visit collegechoicedirect.com/plans and read the disclosure booklet carefully before investing.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's still winter, even if it doesn't feel like it. Cloudy and 57 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Nothing on your radar for now, but some rain is expected tonight with a low of 52 degrees. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Last weekend, Indiana was dealing with a winter storm. This week, it's a much different story. Sean Herrick explains.
For one thing, temperatures will be much warmer than they were a week ago.
With the warm temperatures comes the rain, and we're going to get a lot of it, Thursday, Friday into Saturday, and then again next week.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says places in central and southern Indiana will get around 1.5 inches of rain or more between Thursday and Sunday. Places further north can expect a little bit less. Nearly everywhere, highs will be in the 50s across Indiana during that same time. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Indy Metro Police have arrested Zach Thompson for his involvement in a homicide last July. Police labeled Thompson as a person of interest in a fatal shooting off Wallace Avenue east of downtown and say they were able to gather enough information the last 5 months to arrest him. He has a hearing set for January 3rd. More than 2,400 flights going out or into the country have been canceled today so far, according to FlightAware. Even more flights have been delayed, and Southwest is still responsible for most of those issues. The airline company says they are in the process of getting back on track, but they still need a little time. The state of Indiana has settled a lawsuit against Google. Donnie Burgess reports.
The lawsuit was all about your privacy, so says State Attorney General Todd Rokita, who announced Thursday a $20 million settlement with Google. Rokita says Google has the ability to track your location and send you targeted ads, violating your privacy and not being completely truthful with users of Google devices and services. Rokita currently has 2 lawsuits against TikTok for what he calls misleading kids and providing sexual content. Donnie Burgess, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
And your stock report, the Dow up 345 to 33,220. The NASDAQ up 264 to 19,478. To the S&P 500 up 66 today to 3,849. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
With traffic at 4:34, here's Matt Bear.
Crash clear north side, westbound 465 after Michigan Road. And we still have a police officer out on the right shoulder right now. Traffic stop and go back to 31 Meridian Street. And then on the southeast side, crash on the off-ramp from southbound 465 to Brookville Road. The ramp is open. Right lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go in those southbound lanes from I-70 down to I-74. And a crash on the northeast side. It's 56th Street at Allisonville Road. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Steady temperatures throughout the night tonight, mid and upper 50s. Showers develop later tonight, so it stays mild and breezy. Tomorrow, rain will be likely, and it'll be breezy once again. Temperatures begin to fall into the lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Oh, man, Brian, I think it's so funny that in the midst of high inflation, one of the worst weather cyclone bombs we've ever seen in the United States, especially New York, we got a porous open border. The president is living in the life of luxury right now. And the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, I believe is where he is.
The island of St. Croix.
And I do. I'm old enough to remember when what's his face, the senator from Texas, Lion Ted. When Ted Cruz got in trouble for going to Cancun in the middle of bad weather in Texas, but Joe Biden, he's 80 years old. He takes his naps at 4:30. Or I'm sorry, he takes his lunch at 4:30.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, Nigel. I don't like this. I don't find it funny at all. As a matter of fact, I find it rather insulting, and it aggravates me as much as when Donald Trump was in office and he was constantly out playing golf. I understand. I mean, presidents they can't just be focused on the job 24/7. There has to be a little bit of leisure, but it says something when you're out there on the links or you're down on a nice island, and there are people that are in your country, the country that you're in charge of. You're the global leader here, and they're suffering. It just, it really leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And say what you want about George W. Bush. I mean, the man was not a great president, but one thing that he did is when we were at war, that was the point where he stopped getting out and playing golf because he felt like, this does not send the right message if I'm out here on the links while we've got men and women that are going and dying in this war. So, I don't like this at all. I don't want him out riding a bike, and for his, safety reasons as well. I don't want Biden out on a bike. Sure. I don't want him on a step ladder. I just want the man to be dignified and serious and give us a general sense that he's on the case and doing the job, even if he's completely incoherent and the people around him.
He's not on the case. They don't have a plan for the border. He doesn't have a plan for when. I mean, he wants Title 42 to end. They don't have a plan, and that's the plan. He doesn't have a plan for inflation. I think one of the biggest lies. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, inflation's transitory. Was that a lie, or would she just not know her butt from a hole in the ground when she said that?
Not only was it a lie, Nigel, but she knew better. I mean, that's the thing that I find most disgusting about this. This woman was the head of the Federal Reserve. I knew, and I'm not even that bright. I knew when they shut down the economy and the first round of stimulus checks came along. I mean, my folks were down here. I was scared, man, because I realized this was a necessary measure, but I also realized what it meant. It was essentially what they referred to as helicopter money. We're just going to print our way out of this problem and take the pain on the inflation side instead of the deflation side. So I knew what was coming. She knew what was coming. They knew better than this. I mean, this was not something where we were just playing jazz here and they'd never been through this scenario before. They've played this stuff out a million times. They were trying to provide cover for the administration.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we had this article that came out about how inflation's taken a big bite out of middle income households, but they also talk about how purchasing power for the middle class that dropped while rising for those at the bottom at the top. I can't exactly explain what's going on at the top, but I can tell you at the bottom, when you obliterate the economy, you have rampant inflation, and now all of a sudden you got people that are at the low end of the wage. Listen, man, if they can't afford to live and they're doing 40 hours a week and what they're getting paid isn't covering their needs, they're not coming into work. They're just saying, screw it. They're walking away from these jobs. And so employers have to then raise wages in order to get people back in there and have some bodies to actually fill these positions. So, this is not some kind of a big win. The fact that folks that were on the low end of the wage scale got a boost, it was a necessity that was caused by the incompetence of the administration. The same administration that feeds us that crap line about, we're going to rebuild the economy from the bottom up and the middle out. Whatever the hell that means. It means nothing. Yeah, say what you want about trickle-down economics. At least there's an explanation of what that means. This is just political rhetoric bullcrap that's coming out of the administration, and it makes me sick. They know nothing about this, and they've got officials out today that are talking about how, 2023. Fret not, American people, because the people who told you that inflation was going to be transitory, we see positive signs in the economy. All is well. It's not going to be super great, but it's not going to be bad. Shut up. Every time you guys come out and tell me it's going to be okay, that's when I start to panic. Tell me it's going to be crap because you're always on the wrong side of the issue. Tell me we are set for devastation. Maybe things will turn around.
Off the rails with Brian Baker.
Jeez,
By the way, I love it. No, man, I love it. I love the passion. We are going off the rails with Rob Kendall in about an hour from now, just so everybody knows. Something else about Joe Biden. Have you seen this? Have you seen any excerpts from this new book that's out about Joe Biden? It's called The Fight of His Life Inside Joe Biden's White House. And basically, one of the two things I took away from what I was reading was Biden doesn't trust his Secret Service. And he also said an agent lied about the dog bite. Remember the dog bite? President Biden, he said that an agent lied about being bitten on the leg last year by the then first dog Major, according to this new book, despite internal emails indicating the German Shepherd bit agents 8 days in a row. And then also this book talks about how the president suspected that MAGA sympathizers were embedded in the Secret Service, and the agency is, quote, full of white ex-cops from the South who tend to be deeply conservative, the book says.
Yeah, think about how conspiratorial he is and how paranoid he is. I think that further goes to underscore the suggestion that he might be having some mental issues and possibly experiencing the early symptoms of dementia, although it seems like we ain't just in the early stages anymore. But I got a theory on these dog bites here with Major. I think Major was trying to get himself booted out and get fired. He wanted to get as far away from that guy as possible. He didn't want to be associated with this nightmare administration. How many times do I got to drag my butt on the rug here in the Oval Office to get out of this place? Come on!
I hate it when dogs do that. Why do dogs drag their butt like that? What do they do? I saw my in-laws.
Sometimes it's because they're trying to express their anal sacs quite often. I know that because we got ourselves a real butt dragger in our household. Yeah, their anal sacs. You know, you got to get that juice out.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's gross. Okay.
No, not anal.
Hey, I like getting your opinion. I like talking about movies with you because you work in the industry. You're a stunt driver. You live in Georgia, which is, a thriving
New Hollywood.
It's a thriving industry down there. I want to see what you thought about this. Were you the one that sent me this about Courtney Love? Said she was almost in Fight Club. Courtney Love. I think she was on the WTF podcast. Mark Maron said she was officially cast to play Marla in the movie Fight Club with Brad Pitt, and Helena Bonham Carter ended up playing that role. I couldn't imagine anybody else in that role, even Courtney Love for that matter. So she claimed that she was fired from the movie after she, quote, went nuclear on Brad Pitt and the director when they approached her about the same time about a project based on her late husband, Kurt Cobain. And, she shut that whole idea down, freaked out on him for whatever reason. And so she got fired immediately from the set. And that's when they brought in Helena Bonham Carter.
So what we've learned from this article is that Courtney Love is saying, listen, I can play, I behaved like a complete irrational child and was totally unprofessional. And somehow or another, those guys that I was tearing into didn't want to work with me. Go figure.
I got to listen to the rest of this podcast. Oh, real quick. Hold on. Speaking of Brad Pitt, I'm reading this thing on Radar Online about how Tom Cruise is blaming his Golden Globes snub on Brad Pitt. So Tom Cruise didn't get nominated for any Golden Globes for Top Gun Maverick. I think the movie itself got a nomination for the Golden Globes, but Tom Cruise didn't get any nominations himself and is blaming Brad Pitt. For one, if you remember back in 2021, Tom Cruise, remember when he returned his 3 Golden Globe trophies he got for Born on 4th of July and Jerry Maguire and Magnolia because he was protesting the lack of diversity in the organization? You can hear me rolling my eyes, a virtue signal. So that probably didn't make things easy on him. So now you're telling me he wants the Golden Globe now? He didn't want it then, but now all of a sudden, a year later, they're magically diverse. But sources say, here, listen to this. Sources say that Tom is blaming his longtime rival Brad Pitt, who's nominated this year for Babylon. Quote, it stinks that Brad once again seems to have milked his relationship with the foreign journalists at the Golden Globes to get his own movie, which many consider inferior to Top Gun. A ton of nods. As far as Tom's concerned, the snub is all Brad's fault. I love this crap, man. I love it.
Oh, yeah. But
2 of my favorite actors.
Oh, absolutely. But here's the thing, man. Like, Brad Pitt is a movie star, but he's also an actor. I mean, he is a real actor. He has done incredible work. Tom Cruise is a movie star. He did some good stuff in Jerry Maguire. He's had a couple of good films, but ultimately the guy's a movie star. He's an action star. It's why he no longer does any of these pieces where he really has to stretch as a thespian because nobody went to see him because they sucked. Maverick, awesome movie, all right? And the man is an amazing movie star, but Brad Pitt is the better actor between the two. And I just love that you can be the most powerful man in Hollywood and still be just so embittered over the fact that you didn't get the Golden Globe nom.
Better Tom Cruise. I'm still maintaining that A Few Good Men is Tom Cruise's best movie. I love. I mean, besides, that and Maverick are both right up there for me. But man, I love A Few Good Men with him and Demi Moore. It's so good.
excellent film. Yeah, that and Rain Man. That was another good one.
Rain Man. All right, good one. We can go off on a tangent here of Tom Cruise's best work. All right, we'll be right back. Oh, I've got stick around. I've got Zach Brown band tickets to give away next. Start NFL Week 17 off right with the NFL Same Game Parlay Insurance from FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And it doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or already have an account. You'll get free bets back if your 4-leg Thursday night Same Game Parlay falls 1 leg short. NFL Same Game Parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payday. You can build out your own Same Game Parlay any way you want. Take the running back and the over with the rushing yards, combine that with quarterback over passing yards, and your favorite player to score an anytime touchdown. You can build your own or choose from one of the popular same-game parlays pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. Just sign up with promo code WIBC if you don't already have an account. That's promo code WIBC. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Indiana. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max free bet $25. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-9 with it.
Hello, Hoosiers. This is Congressman Greg Pence. It's an honor to serve the 6th District of Indiana. As a former Marine, I'm proud to serve you. As you all know, inflation is out of control. The Biden administration's policies are crushing our economy and crushing our wallet. I'm fighting every day against the Biden policies driving up the cost of groceries and utilities. In Congress, we need the federal government working for Americans, not against Americans. We need to curb runaway government spending to fight back against inflation. We need to support domestic energy production to lower gas prices. As your congressman, I will continue to fight on your behalf. Please visit pence.house.gov to learn more.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, $5 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
I love that high school sports are about so much more than winning.
I couldn't agree more. While the immediate goal might be to win a game or championship, the real purpose of high school sports is to develop good people, not just good athletes. I'm Robert Falkins, a proud South Bend LaSalle Lion.
And I'm Carrie Rosati, a proud Roncalli Royal. We're both assistant commissioners of the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
In education-based athletics, we care just as much about how student athletes are performing in the classroom as we do about how they're performing on the playing field.
That's because high school sports are a tool to build the character of student athletes, not just their athletic skills.
Developing the whole person rather than just the athlete. That's what high school sports in Indiana are all about.
Support the real purpose of education-based athletics by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events.
This is training good athletes. This is developing better people. This is your IHSAA.
Matt Bear, what is going on with traffic?
Crash clear north side, westbound 465 after Michigan Road, still slow to Meridian. Crash on the southeast side on the exit ramp to Brookville Road. Ramp is partially blocked. It's the right lane. We are slow back to I-70. Now a crash on eastbound 16th Street at Riverside Drive. It is a trash truck rear-ending a vehicle. Right now the right lane is blocked. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
57 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. My name is Nigel. Brian Baker filling in for Hammer. Let's give away another pair of Zach Brown Band tickets. Zach Brown Band not coming here till August of 2023, August 6th, Ruoff Music Center. We got tickets right now, though, if you're caller 9-239-9393. You sent me this story. I thought it was from The Onion at first about Bill Cosby returning to the comedy stage. He was doing some radio interview a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday. And when the host asked, what did he say? He said in a radio interview, Cosby answered yes when asked if 2023 is the year he finally might be able to tour again.
He's gonna go. He's hitting all the comedy clubs and, hey, ladies, come on out, free drinks. I'm sorry, that was in poor taste.
Is anybody lining up to watch Bill Cosby? Like, he's 85. He was convicted of a criminal sex assault charge. Now, it was overturned by the state Supreme Court, but I don't think there's any doubt. I don't think there's any doubt that the guy was guilty.
I think they're going to have a hard time getting him any bookings at comedy clubs. I don't see him showing up at Crackers.
Yeah, neither do I. You know what movie I watched during the pandemic that I hadn't seen in a long time? And I just specifically remember watching it as not Ghost Dad. I'm curious to see if you even know this one. I think it was a Disney movie called The Devil and Max Devlin.
No, man. I've never even heard of that.
With Elliot Gould and Bill Cosby. And Elliot Gould, I think is that his name, Elliot Gould? The guy dies and goes to hell, and Bill Cosby's the devil. And he says he'll let him out of hell if he goes back on Earth and brings me 3 souls. And like the soul is like a little kid and a mom and somebody else. You don't remember The Devil and Max Devlin?
Never saw that one, man, but I got to tell you, when all the news came out and broke about Bill Cosby, that had to be the biggest stunner for me. I mean, I know there's some real dirtbags in entertainment. I've had my encounters with some of them and gone, oh man, never meet your heroes. But Bill Cosby, I mean, he was always harping on Eddie Murphy and family values and all that. I remember the guy who bought my house worked at NBC. And he actually did work on The Cosby Show. And he told me this outrageous story about how when Cosby was at the height of his fame and The Cosby Show was saving NBC, that Cosby actually had sex with some woman on the set and made the crew watch.
Ew.
And when he told me that story, I thought, I went, okay, yeah. I mean, no way that was true, right? And then all the news broke about Cosby, and I thought, my golly, I mean, maybe, because these stories were so outrageous. Hey, I mean, maybe that did happen.
You know, Bill Cosby, I mean, the first stand-up I ever remember watching as a kid or understanding what stand-up comedy was Bill Cosby himself.
Yeah.
That is great. Give us chocolate cake.
That's the thing, too. It's a great special, and now I can't watch it. I feel dirty. I feel like, I don't know. It's not right.
All right. Coming up after 5 o'clock, we're going to replay a segment that you and I did probably at least 2 years ago. And I had somebody ask me about this the other day. Remember when you and I, where we had the contest where we were naming off each prescriptions? How many prescriptions?
Yeah,
that we take.
Who's taking more prescriptions?
Yeah, that's right. Who's taking more prescriptions, me or you? We had to name them. You had to guess what my prescription was. That ended up being a really cool segment because it actually got kind of serious at the end. Yeah. And so we'll do that after 5 o'clock. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Hello, Richard Michaelis, president of Michaelis Corporation, wishing you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. For over 3 decades, the Michaelis team has helped Central Indiana families and businesses facing fire, water, and storm damage. And because emergencies don't take days off, neither do we. If the unexpected happens this holiday season, we're here for you with our 24/7 rapid disaster response service. Because life happens, water, storms, fire, and foundations, make it Michaelis. 844-FIX-INDY.
If today were the last day of your life, would you want to do what you're about to do today? As time marches on, the inescapable movement of the clock can change our perspective on life and our daily purpose. We all get there someday. In recent years, families I work with often ask, "What happens to me, Brian, if something happens to you or you decide to retire?" Every day I ask myself, does this still feel like a purpose that I look forward to, or is this starting to feel like a job? This is Brian Singer with Singer Financial. I feel blessed to still love what I do, but someday my purpose might shift to playing pickleball 24/7. CNBC reports that 73% of financial advisors lack a formal succession plan. That means that nearly 3 out of 4 advisors may be contemplating their own retirement with no transitional support for the clients who may have trusted them for years or decades. Fiduciary advisors put clients' best interests first. At Singer Financial, that means knowing how the individuals, couples, and families we work with will be taken care of for many more years beyond my retirement, unexpected disability, or death. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. I'm excited to share that Singer Financial is now a part of Howard Bailey Financial, an Indiana-based retirement planning firm. We believe our integration with the Howard Bailey team is a giant step forward in our mission to be the last financial team you would ever need or want. Howard Bailey is a growing firm with a youthful, energetic founder and a cutting-edge planning process designed to help you transition into a work-optional lifestyle someday. Call us at 317-852-9153 to schedule a discovery visit and talk about your someday. If you're ready to plan for your best retirement, we should get together.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
The new year is here. Time for a change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand IT field with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right
that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
This is Chris Ambrose with B&W Plumbing and Heating. You can wait until the last minute to finish your Christmas shopping, but you shouldn't wait to have your furnace maintained. Maintenance on your furnace will improve efficiency, extend the life of your unit, and help identify small issues before they become major problems. Call now at 317-243-3581 to schedule your maintenance today. The B&W Plumbing and Heating family would like to take this time to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year.
B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Coming up in 2 minutes, your weekend forecast is a lot different than last weekend. IMPD have arrested a man accused of being involved in a homicide last July, and Sasha Nixon reports on how you can protect yourself during this year's flu season. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Shepherd Community Center studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Return to normal scheduling. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. That's what Southwest Airlines says will happen this week.
After thousands of flights were canceled, leaving people across the country frustrated and stranded, Southwest Airlines says it expects to return to normal operations Friday. The company has admitted to having technology that doesn't put flight crews in the right position when bad weather hits, adding the system is in need of an upgrade to avoid another mass cancellation. The Department of Transportation has demanded the company provide prompt refunds to those who've had their flights canceled.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. The DOJ has filed a lawsuit against a major pharmaceutical company over its opioid distribution.
The Justice Department says its civil complaint names AmerisourceBergen Corporation and 2 of its subsidiaries for violating the Controlled Substances Act thousands of times, saying they failed to report suspicious orders to federal law enforcement for years, contributing to the opioid crisis. AmerisourceBergen says in a statement that federal prosecutors cherry-picked a handful handful of pharmacies out of tens of thousands they supply to, and insist they shared vast amounts of information with the DEA over the years, but that the DEA didn't act quickly.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The company earlier this year agreed to a $6 billion opioid settlement with state and local governments. In Jerusalem, protests today outside the Knesset against the inauguration of the country's new right-wing government. Benjamin Netanyahu has returned as prime minister. A sheriff's office says a chase by car and foot today in Chattanooga, Tennessee, ended with deputies fatally shooting a suspect who had shot at them. One deputy was injured. Stocks bounced back today with the Dow gaining 345 points. The S&P 500 rose 66, and the Nasdaq jumped 265 points. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Warmer temps and rain, 57 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indy. You've got nothing on your radar, but a good chance for rain later tonight with a low of 52. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Just about all of Indiana can expect to get rain at some point between today and Sunday.
That's going to be almost the entire state with the heaviest amounts along and south of I-70.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says those areas will get around 1.5 inches of rain or more, with lesser amounts up north. Temperatures will also hover around the 50s through the weekend. A missing 13-year-old girl from Pennsylvania might be in Indianapolis. IMPD says Irma Vigil was last seen December 13th in West Mifflin. She's 5'3" with her hair dyed half black and half red. She was also wearing a dark-colored sweatshirt and black jeans when she was last seen. If you know where she is, call IMPD. Indy Metro Police have arrested Zach Thompson for his involvement in a homicide last July. Police labeled Thompson as a person of interest in a fatal shooting that happened off Wallace Avenue east of downtown, and they say they were able to gather enough information over the last 5 months to arrest Thompson. He's now got a hearing set for January 3rd. As flu cases continue to rise across Indiana, one Hoosier doctor has some suggestions on how you can stay safe. Sasha Nixon reports.
Dr. Ethan Charles Blocker-Smith, outpatient family medicine physician with IU Health in Fishers, says flu cases and deaths are significantly higher than they were at this time last year. He attributes the spike to various causes, including a more dangerous strain of the flu. However, Dr. Blocker-Smith says getting vaccinated is still the best way to protect yourself. Other ways to stay safe include washing your hands, staying home if you are sick, and wearing a mask. Learn more at WIBC.com. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers play the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight after beating the Hawks last time out. Guard Therese Halliburton says they'll need to focus on closing out games moving forward.
A lot of time, just NBA basketball, fourth quarter is about, getting the ball in, the guys' hands and, let them make plays.
The Pacers have won 3 of their last 4. Tip-off tonight is at 7. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
It's Terry Stacy, and when I hear the word free, my ears perk up a little bit. So listen to this December deal from Exercise Inc., the 20-minute once-a-week workout that will change your life. Sign up right now in December, mention WIBC, and you get 2 sessions free. Now, most people gain 5 pounds during the holidays and then spend the next 5 months trying to lose it. Don't be that person. Come to Exercise Inc. in December, and you'll get a coach who will help you get stronger, feel better, and start losing weight right now. You'll increase your metabolism, you'll feel fantastic, and enjoy the holidays a whole lot more. Don't wait until January. Give yourself a gift that truly will change your life. Exercise Inc. for all ages, no crowded gym, and you'll have a coach that's by your side during your 20-minute once-a-week workout. Exercise Inc.'s December deal at all 4 locations. Sign up now, mention WIBC, and get 2 free sessions. Visit exerciseinc.com for a location near you.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
Harrison Pike Township, southbound 65, shut down, closed before West 71st Street because of a vehicle fire. I'm watching it on the NDOT Jam Cam. This car is fully engulfed. Fire department just pulled up to the scene, and traffic is stopped back to West 86th Street. That is where I'm getting out. Also looking at eastbound 16th Street at Riverside Drive. That's a crash blocking the right lane, a trash truck against a passenger vehicle. And then on the east side, southbound 465, crash clear at Brookville Road, still a little bit slow to Washington. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Stores are a new world of possible with innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. Explore more at your local Staples store, staplesconnect.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Steady temperatures throughout the night tonight, mid and upper 50s. Showers develop later tonight, so it stays mild and breezy. Tomorrow, rain will be likely, and it'll be breezy once again. Temperatures begin to fall into the lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings on 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters
They're weirdos.
on 93 WIBC? So let's rock it!
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having an awesome holiday. Brian Baker's filling in for Hammer. My name is Nigel. The Biden administration, this video kind of just surfaced from a few months ago, but a complete shocker. Somebody from the Biden administration advocating for tech censorship. So, you know who Rachel Levine is, right? This is a man who identifies as a woman and is Biden's Health and Human Services Assistant Secretary.
Not a calendar model.
Yeah, no. She's, he, I forget. I guess you got to call her, you got to say she.
It's a she now, yeah.
She called out tech corporations to censor, quote unquote, misinformation about child sex changes. And this is from, she was addressing the State Medical Board in New Orleans in May. Here's part of that audio.
There is substantial misinformation about gender-affirming care for transgender and gender-diverse individuals. We are in this nation facing an onslaught of anti-LGBTQI plus actions at the state levels across the United States, and they are dangerous to the public health. The positive value of gender-affirming care for youth and adults is not in scientific or medical dispute. And we need to use our clinicians' voice to collectively advocate for our tech companies to create a healthier, cleaner information environment.
So it's all settled science. It's not in dispute. You can't question it. And this person is, again, a big shocker. Somebody from the Biden administration asking big tech to censor diverse thought, censor debate, especially when it comes to gender mutilation of children.
Yeah, and Nigel, I like to, joke around and make wisecracks about the incompetence in the Biden administration, but this really does go to show you just how sick and evil some of the people are that are at the top of the food chain and how they're pushing their own agenda. And, we always talk about, how many times have Republicans, people like Mike Pence, had it thrown in their face that, he's a Christian and, and yet somehow, that is going to be just disastrous for America. But it's okay for these folks to say, no, we're going to put our ideology ahead of what's really best for the development of our children. This is frightening to me. And it's, they're really, this idea that we're somehow, there's just this huge amount of pushback and, misinformation about the LGBTQ community. No, there's not. Because the fact is that the majority of people out there, listen, do whatever you want with your body and sleep with whoever you want, and that's fine. Where they crossed the line is when they started pushing ideology and made it a political movement and started going after kids. That right there is sacred territory, and they've decided that they're going to infiltrate that. So you're damn right we're going to push back.
And it's starting to happen. You saw this. Did you hear about the drag queen Christmas show?
Yeah,
that's touring the country. Ron DeSantis is now investigating this thing for exposing kids to sexually explicit themes. It's billed as an all-ages show. The Christmas drag show's held this week in somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There was video at the event. Records several young kids were at this thing. It's basically a show that tours across the country, open for all ages. The show features exposed genitals, simulated sex acts, oversized fake breasts, and parents are bringing kids to this thing. And it's one thing. I don't know what it is with the drag queen community and kids and story time at public libraries. I don't know what it is. It's some very weird thing, but elected officials are now promoting this show. Democrat mayor in Knoxville bragged on Facebook that she attended a drag queen Christmas. Quote, "So glad to be at a drag queen Christmas. So many merry Knoxville folks." Video of this show in Austin shows a drag queen at this very same show again, touring across the country, talking to a 9-year-old and praising a mom for bringing her kid and saying, quote, "Hello, are you reaching for my boobies?" And she didn't say boobies. She uses the T word, the quote, "Are you hungry?" In there. And of course, they're simulated sex acts with reindeer costumes. And so this show is under investigation in several different states, including Florida. Ron DeSantis is like, yeah, you can't bill this as an all ages show. Parents, it'd be the equivalent of bringing your kid to a strip club. I don't know what the fetish is with drag. Dude, I've been to drag shows. I've been. Yeah, of course. Like in the early 2000s, I was hanging out with my hairstylist, one of her friends, and they had the company Christmas party at downtown. I thought it was hilarious. It looked awesome. It was fun, but you don't bring your kids to that stuff. I don't get it. And the parents are just as much to blame as the people putting on these events that are billing them as all ages shows.
More so because they have the final say. And look, man, I mean, I love the movie The Birdcage. I love Smokey and the Bandit. My daughter's 6. You think I've shown her that movie? No, man. Listen, there's stuff that is not age appropriate. These parents, really, man, they're sick.
You say you love The Birdcage?
I love that movie.
Is that with Robin Williams? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Look, I want to leave plenty of time for the next segment because it's one of my favorites that we've done before. We're going to replay this where you and I compare prescriptions that we are currently taking. And we'll do that right after a look at traffic with Matt Bear.
Northbound 65, crash at Meridian Penn, left lane is blocked, and a slowdown to the north split. Now Pike Township, southbound 65, all lanes closed before 71st Street because of a vehicle car fire. It was fully engulfed. Traffic is stopped back to 86th Street. That is where I am exiting unless I want to be part of this delay. That's bad. Eastbound 16th Street at Riverside Drive, crash, right lane blocked, and then a crash 56th Street at Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Compassion International. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Imagine if you could get a 35% bonus when you invest your money. That's right. If you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. If you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. And guess what? You'll sleep well at night knowing your money is protected by one of the highest rated insurance companies in the world. It's Terry Stacy, and to learn more about this 35% bonus, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-972-9172. A little diversification outside of the stock market could be a really good thing right about now. But this 35% bonus won't last forever. So call 317-972-9172. 317-972-9172.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, $5 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
Hello. This is a message from the office of Congresswoman Victoria Spartz. Are you having an issue with any federal agency or need help navigating the complex federal bureaucracy? If so, if you live in Indiana's 5th Congressional District, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz has 2 district offices here to assist you with Social Security issues, Medicare claims, veterans benefits, IRS issues, passport applications, Service Academy appointments, and a variety of other services. Representative Spartz's Northeast office is located in downtown Anderson across from the Paramount Theater, and her Southwest office is located in downtown Carmel on Main Street next to the Monon Trail. Again, if you are having issues with any federal agency, Representative Victoria Spartz's office is here to assist you. You can call Representative Spartz's office at 317-848-0201 or submit your inquiries at her website, spartz.house.gov. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. Owner Chris Wedekin sells the ductless Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, which is a great option to heat and cool individual spaces while blending into the decor.
You want your poker room to be dressed up, you could take a vinyl wrap and put on these. If you like the more modern look, they have styles in black, silver, and pearl white that would be more aesthetically pleasing for your rooms.
Find out more at AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
There's only one company that meets the gold standard in hair restoration and hair transplants. We Grow Hair Indy. Hey, it's Rob, and I'm here with Darren Andrews. Darren, people are coming from all over the world to We Grow Hair Indy to grow their hair back.
Hey Rob, it's great to be here. Yes, they are. And Rob, as you well know, we are very proud of the technology and the results of We Grow Hair Indy. We Grow Hair Indy is one of only 2 places in the entire US that offers both the Artist Robotic FUE and our trademark procedure multi-unit hair grafting.
We Grow Hair Indy filled in my crown area and restored the hair on the top of my head. Call 888-724-5129 for a free evaluation. That's 888-724-5129 and grow your hair back. The one company that has the best technology and results. WeGrowHairIndy.com, the gold standard in hair restoration.
For a smarter conversation about money, Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky. Presented by Edelman Financial Engines. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Brian, I had a request. Brian Baker's still in for Hammer. I had a request to replay this thing we did almost, I think it was 2 years ago, but it ended up like taking kind of a serious turn. It was sort of a joke at the beginning, but it ended up kind of going somewhere we didn't expect it. So let's replay this. And I think, I don't even think it needs much setting up. I think basically you and I compare the prescriptions that we're taking. We make each other guess. And this is from a couple of years ago. Let's play a little game, shall we?
Oh,
shall we play a little game?
Please do.
I want to see. Let's see who takes more prescription medications on a regular basis. You or I.
I got my maracas right here, baby.
Here's what we'll do. I'll read you the generic clinical name of a med that I take on the reg.
Okay.
You tell me what it's for.
Oh, okay. Now I do have a question, though. When we're comparing here,
yes,
are we counting over the counter medications as well? Or only prescription?
I'm saying prescription. But if you have something you want to throw in there, it's fine.
I have Meniere's disease, but the only thing you take for that is antihistamine. So.
Oh, okay. So I'll read you the generic name for a med I take. You tell me what it's for. Then you tell me the name of a medicine you take, and I'll guess what it's for. And the radio personality that takes the most prescribed medications on the regular wins.
All right.
You want me to start?
Please do.
Simvastatin.
Oh, man.
Do you know what that's for?
Well, ED?
No, jerk, it's cholesterol.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Okay, now, would you like to? It's your turn.
Okay. Wellbutrin.
Oh, I know what that. Wellbutrin. Oh, talk on it. Is that for anxiety?
Well, closest for depression.
Okay. Wellbutrin. All right. See, that's a huge. Do you have a problem talking about taking depression medication over the years?
No. In fact, the other day, we were talking about the masks. When I go to Target and they try and be real quiet about it when they get and they have the masks on, I can't understand it. So finally, last time I picked up, I just said, "Hey, everybody, I suffer from depression and take meds. Now, can you tell me what I'm picking up, lady?"
Okay. So we're 1-1 so far.
All right.
Here's my next one. This is a medication I take on a regular basis, daily.
Okay.
Lisinopril. Do you know what that is?
Is that the one for ED?
You're going to guess all these damn ones for ED, don't you? No, lisinopril is blood pressure.
Blood pressure, okay.
Blood
all right,
pressure
so it goes
medication.
On to the cholesterol, all right.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
You hit me with one.
All right. Lexapro.
Oh, is that depression again?
Yes.
Jeez, are
Very
you
good.
How many depression medications do you take?
I'm just I'm kind of like the testing candidate for all this stuff.
Can I tell you something? I've been prescribed depression medication before a couple of years ago, and a couple different types, and I don't take it anymore, and mostly because it tears up my stomach. Like I can't stay off the toilet. Like it's really, really, and it's been a couple of years now, but I had a conversation with my doctor. He's like, all right, well, let's take a test here. We'll prescribe you some, and it lasted for maybe 3 days, and it hurt my stomach so bad that I just stopped.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that as a side effect, but I also I take regular doses, especially in the last week or so, of Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
I go to my favorite restaurant. Yeah, Pepto, just give it to me up in a snifter, please.
All right, my turn.
All right.
The generic, the medication I take, acyclovir. Acyclovir.
All right, so we've got those: blood pressure, cholesterol. Is that one depression?
No, cold sores.
What?
It's Valtrex. It's for fever blisters.
I didn't know that they had anything for that.
Well, they have it. It's for genital. It's for herpes. But that's what you get on your. I've had fever blisters since I was a kid. It's cold sores.
I had no idea.
Just awful. Just when I was a kid growing up, it was the worst. Whenever I get a cold sore, just a big cheeseburger looking sore on my lip, and it's just so embarrassing when I was a kid. So later, when I started to get older, I figured out they had this medication, and I go through a lot of theatrics when I'm at the pharmacy when I have to order acyclovir, because I don't want the hot pharmacist behind the counter to think it's for genital. I'm like, so I'll go through all these steps. Like, is there anything cheaper than acyclovir? Because I get a cold sore every once in a while when I'm out in the sun, and I ask them all these questions every time just to let them know that it's not for my genitals.
Yes, and they kind of wink at you and go, "Yes, sure, sir."
All right.
We remember you at X103.
Okay, so we have. Are you done? Do you have more that you can?
No, I got more, baby.
Okay.
All right. Lorazepam.
Say it again.
Lorazepam.
It starts with
generic. It's Zyprexa, or not Zyprexa. Xanax.
Oh, alprazolam.
Oh,
yes, Xanax is anxiety. So I think we take, because that was my next one.
Yeah, panic attacks, actually.
That was my next one that I take at the beginning of this year when the pandemic was first going on. I went to my doctor. I was like, oh, man, something's going on. Something's wrong. He's like, don't worry, you're having a panic attack. So I started taking like a 0.5, one of those little things.
Uh-huh.
And it made a lot of difference. It was like a really low dose.
Yeah. Yeah, and you wake up feeling like $1 million. The problem is you only want to take it when you're having a panic attack. If because once you start getting used to it, it's really tough to get off some of these.
All right, final one for me. I don't know how many more you have left, but here's the final one on the regular. Zolpidem tartrate.
Okay, now I gotta ask, is that a generic?
Yes, yeah, these are generic names.
Well, okay, because the brand name is what they advertise. That was an unfair advantage. Let's see, weight loss.
No, it's Ambien. It's Ambien.
Oh, all right.
So that's it. I'm out. I'm done. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 altogether. I don't know if our Xanax cancel each other out or not, though.
I don't know, but I got another one here. Seroquel.
Man, I have no idea. I couldn't even begin to imagine.
Yeah, it's a
body odor. controls your body odor? Like your bad sweating or anything?
It actually is for insomnia, but also for depression. Sometimes they give it to people that are bipolar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seroquel. Any more?
No. I mean, I
ED
have to take
medication?
antihistamine.
I think we're even. I don't know. You might, because the Xanax. I don't know. I think we're even. Now I take vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc on a regular basis every day.
Okay, yeah, I have to take a B complex because I've got arthritis in the neck. So
I think we're tied. We're tied. The radio personality that takes the most prescribed medications on a regular basis is Brian Baker and Nigel from the Hammer Nigel Show. That was interesting. Wow. It's brave. I think it's brave, especially you talking about depression. I mean, I had Hammer ask me one time, we were talking about this, and Hammer's like, what do you have to be depressed about? I go, look, just because you have, that's not the point, is what do I have to be depressed about? Depression doesn't know if you're successful, or they don't know if you're homeless. You know what I mean? That disease does not differentiate.
No, and it's terrible. There's still a stigma around that because it has helped me tremendously. Good. Saved my life. Yeah. And my family definitely likes me better when I'm on it. And there's nothing to be ashamed about. Look, if you, like cholesterol, you got cholesterol problems. So you take it. It's not always related to your circumstances.
I will say that I talked to my doctor. He's like, well, cholesterol, heart disease does not run in my family, but high cholesterol does. He's like, man, you'll probably be on that for as long as you can for the rest of your life. I'm like, man, I don't want to be on a statin for the rest of my life. So eventually I'd like to probably stop drinking so much.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to do the alcohol with the Xanax.
No. I don't know, but trust me, I don't mix meds at all like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you being open and honest. I thought this was just going to be a kind of fun, lighthearted game, and you on, let's see, I count 3 depression medications and Xanax.
Yeah, listen, I mean,
that's impressive.
If you're suffering, people, go to a doctor. Yes, I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed about. And, it has changed my life, saved my life.
Okay, a little replay from, I think that was almost from 2 years ago. Brian Baker and I going back and forth with our prescription meds. Coming up next, going off the rails with Rob Kendall right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
From snow to rain, 57 degrees and cloudy downtown. Nothing on radar, but chances for rain tonight. You've got a low of 52. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:28. Just about all of Indiana can expect to get rain at some point between today and Sunday. Quite the opposite of last weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be almost the entire state with the heaviest amounts along and south of I-70.
Cody Moore with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says those areas will get around 1.5 inches of rain or more. Less amounts of rain up north. Temperatures will also remain in the 50s through the weekend. Thousands of Southwest airline flights are still being canceled, but the company's promising things will be back to normal by Friday.
They promise with minimal disruptions. Plenty of disruptions today across the nation. 2,400, almost 2,500 cancellations across the board of American aviation. But 2,300 plus of those belong to Southwest Airlines as they still feel the impact of the meltdown from this winter storm. Jump ahead to tomorrow, and that number drops to 39 projected cancellations, again, as the executives are promising a return to normal operations.
Fox's Mike Tobin. Southwest's CEO blamed old technology and crew members being out of place for the issues. Some of the people dealing with canceled flights have had their luggage stolen. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Department has footage of 4 people stealing bags as luggage begins to pile up. They were seen rummaging through those bags and tossing anything they didn't want and keeping what they did. He says it's all about your privacy and protecting your information. Donnie Burgess reports on a lawsuit from the State Attorney General's office.
$20 million. That's the money the state of Indiana is receiving from its lawsuit settlement with Google. State AG Todd Rokita says Google hasn't been truthful about its location tracking and ability to expose your information, which is why the state filed suit. Multiple states are also taking legal action against Chinese social media app TikTok for having the potential to spy on U.S. government devices. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas across Indiana is $3.02 per gallon of regular today, says Gas Buddy. That's up 7 cents from where that average was on Monday. With traffic at 5:30, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Pike Township southbound 65 is closed to West 71st Street. All lanes shut down. With traffic stopped back to 865. It's because of a vehicle fire. The fire is out. It's going to take a minute to clean up. Crash Kessler Boulevard at Allisonville Road. Eastbound 16th at Riverside Drive. We have a hit there. And then northbound 65 coming out of the North Split crash Meridian Penn. And that is on the shoulder. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Steady temperatures throughout the night tonight, mid and upper 50s. Showers develop later tonight, so it stays mild and breezy. Tomorrow, rain will be likely, and it'll be breezy once again. Temperatures begin to fall into the lower 50s by the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings on 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall on 93 WIBC.
Yeah, Rob Kendall's on vacation, kind enough to get on a horn here and go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
Great. Thanks as always to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Yeah, I don't know how your vacation's going, but Joe Biden's vacation looks awesome. Virgin Islands, St. Croix, in the middle of a giant snowstorm, open border, and a crisis with the airlines. And Joe Biden takes off to the Virgin Islands. I'm old enough to remember when Ted Cruz did the same thing last year. Remember when he went to Cancun? And he was vilified, raked over the coals because of all the bad weather in Texas.
Well, isn't it interesting, whether it's the Santos guy or the thing, as you mentioned, with Biden and Ted Cruz, whenever it's a Republican, they will dig and dig and dig and dig. And the Santos guy is a total loser. But why is the Santos guy any different than Elizabeth Warren or Ilhan Omar or countless other Democrats when there's absolutely nothing that ever gets done about it? And they act like the Santos guy was the dude on the grassy knoll at this point.
So to talk about Santos for a second, this is a guy that's representing now like 700,000 people in his district in New York, but he's just kind of a liar. He's this Republican that got elected, but his resume's bunk, right?
Well, and you may remember in the hit 80s film Ernest Saves Christmas, in which they don't believe that Santa Claus is Santa Claus, they keep calling him Mr. Santos. And so every time I hear the name Santos, I think of the hit, I believe, the hit film Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah, well, so how did he win? Why didn't Democrats beat this guy? I mean,
when was any of it happen at this point? I mean, so here's the thing. None of it matters. These people are all, for the most part, just wholly ridiculous. I mean, I saw a thing yesterday, and I put this up at Robin Kendall on Twitter, in which Victoria Sparks is using taxpayer money to run ads on Facebook, not as her campaign, but as a U.S. representative. And the ad literally said, "Should we defend the Second Amendment, Nigel?" A U.S. representative is using taxpayer money to run ads on Facebook asking, "Should we defend the Second Amendment?" I call it out. What do you know, Nigel? A day later, it's a totally different ad. So these people are all ridiculous. I just despise almost every single one of them, and they're all hypocritical.
They really are. I mean, how does Maxine Waters end up in a $4 million house living outside her district? How does Nancy Pelosi have a 9-figure income working as a longtime person in Congress? It's completely transparent. They're all corrupt, and you do a better job than a lot of people of seeing right through it.
Well, but the problem is they are bipartisan offenders, right?
Yes.
The Santos guy is a pathological liar and should be kicked out of Congress. But so should Chief Lion Warren. So should Ilhan Omar. I mean, all of these people lie, they deceive, they manipulate, and yet when it's a Democrat like Elizabeth Warren, who literally lied about her Native American heritage, which escalated her to the United States Senate,
yes,
and on top of that, for decades, got jobs, got bonuses, got pay, got all sorts of things she wasn't entitled to. Not a word about that. But when it's a Republican, well, he's got to go.
I mean, Joe Biden's been lying and plagiarizing his entire life, and he's the president of the United States.
Exactly. He had an entire campaign derailed for president, and nothing happens. These people are all ridiculous. Almost all of them should go, but it is amazing how the media is not going to stop on this Santos guy.
What did you think of? I thought this was pretty funny. The January 6th committee, this sham, this show trial that's been going on at the cost of millions of dollars, taxpayer dollars. They dropped the Trump subpoena. Remember, it was big news. They get a subpoena Donald Trump, haul him in front of like he would have ever come to testify anyway. But they actually dropped the subpoena, and Trump was bragging about it today on social media. I mean, overall, just what an incredible waste of time this committee was. No witnesses were cross-examined. No witnesses for the defense. No opposition view of the evidence. No. I don't even think there were no members on this committee that didn't vote for impeachment. What do you think?
Well, but they were largely successful, and this is the problem. Society keeps rewarding people for doing terrible, awful things, and you get the government you deserve. The whole intention of the January 6th committee was to soil Trump, to make anybody associated with Trump a total poison. And if you look at the results of the election and how the Trump candidates did, this was very, very, very successful. Again, not a finger's been lifted to find out what happened in Portland or Seattle or Chicago or Indianapolis or New York or fill in your favorite metropolitan city, which far worse things happened there than happened in Washington, D.C.
No question.
But you have just terrible, awful people who run this country. We've put them there. They are horrific, and they will continue to do horrific things until we stop it, and we keep voting for them. So we really have no one to blame but ourselves.
There's a couple other big national items I wanted to ask you about. I thought it was interesting that Justice Gorsuch sided with the libs on the Title 42 thing. I'm glad Title 42 is in place, keeping tens of thousands of migrants from coming into the country illegally. But Gorsuch was like, and I have a feeling I agreed with him. I was like, hey, this isn't our problem. This is Congress's problem. They need to change the policy. We're not in the business of this. What did you think of that whole thing?
Well, he's probably right. And Gorsuch, next to Alito, is probably the best justice on the Supreme Court from a purely libertarian standpoint. I think he certainly is. Here's the problem, though. Biden and the Democrats can't decide whether the pandemic's over or not.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, you've got Biden saying, well, the pandemic's over. But then on the other hand, you've got other places that are threatening to start masking again. I know when I went to the doctor's office the other day, people were still required to wear masks again.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't say, well, it's totally over, because we're still, at least in terms of public education or edicts by local governments, or doctors' offices, they're once again making you do things that would insinuate the pandemic's over. So while I agree with him that the Congress should take care of this, well, you can't really say there's no threat. At least the government is telling you there's still clearly a threat of COVID.
Yeah, I took my kid to the doctor the other day, emergency clinic for strep throat, and I looked like an idiot almost. I walked in, me and him walked in, and we're filling out the paperwork, and I guess there was signage all over the place saying, you must put on a mask. And finally the lady behind the counter goes, sir, can you put on a mask, please? I'm like, oh, I hadn't put on a mask for a year. So you're absolutely right. Joe Biden on 60 Minutes walking in that Detroit car show. Oh, yeah, COVID's over. Like he waved his, COVID. And then Fauci the next day, now the pandemic's not over.
I feel so much better about myself, Nigel, because we did the same thing. We were to the elevator, and I looked around, and it's like one of those scenes in the movies where, like, everything around you stops, and you're noticing. Yeah. And I told my wife, I said, everyone has a mask on here except for us. And if it had been me, I would have just kept going. But I really need this baby to get delivered by a professional, and as such, I figured we better not do it.
Yeah, man. How's the wife doing? How's she feeling?
Well, she's been very well behaved, so I keep letting her eat, and
what's wrong with you?
keep taking care of her, and knock on wood, so far so good.
Hey, does our transportation secretary, does he actually do anything? Like, has Pete Buttigieg accomplished anything. We played audio earlier of him on some late night talk show. James Corden, over the summer, he's like, things by the the airlines will be fine by the holidays. I mean, he's on tape. He's ignored letters from attorney generals saying, "Hey, we've got a problem here." Has he accomplished anything in his time as Treasury Secretary other than taking a 6-month paternity leave?
Well, to quote the great philosopher Eminem, Pete Buttigieg is great at portraying himself as what Eminem once called an innocent victim, because he is never responsible for anything that happens. And the Biden administration, and again, we let them get away with it, right? We keep allowing them to get away with it. We keep not punishing people at the ballot box. And so what Buttigieg is great about is being a totally incompetent buffoon who you wouldn't let run a Shoney's if your life depended on it. And yet this guy just will waltz out there, whether it's baby formula, whether it's transportation, whether it's transportation again, whether it's supply chain. It's always someone else's fault, and he always waltzes out like this strong man threatening other people when he is at the crux of all of these problems because he's totally incompetent.
Can I get you to stick around for one more segment? I wanted to ask you about the Indiana Department of Education. They need more money.
Oh,
and
of course they do, right?
Let me take a break. We'll come back with a segment here with Rob Kendall here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Hubler has certified service and maintenance for the life of your vehicle. Get everyday value pricing on service and parts and schedule an appointment with ease at drivehubler.com.
Colts fans, now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just sign up with promo code WIBC. Some of the things I love about FanDuel include how they get you your winnings paid fast. I love the live betting. You'll get updated odds on games that have already started if you see a trend you like. It's on an app that's safe. It's on an app that's secure and super easy to use. So sign up today with promo code WIBC for your first no-sweat first bet. And make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the Indianapolis Colts. 21 plus and present in Indiana. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our comfort specialists can handle any heater repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with the tools to do incredible things. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Matt Baer is in the WIBC Traffic Center.
Southbound 65 in Pike Township has reopened from the vehicle fire, but reopened with the left lane blocks. This is southbound 65 before 71st. Traffic is stopped. Back to Whitestown Parkway, just an ugly delay. Northbound 65 out of the north split. And we have a crash at Meridian Penn, blocking the left lane, backing up traffic to the north split. Crash Keystone Avenue at East 34th. Another one, Kessler at Allisonville Road. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC. Hey, we're back. It's Off the Rails with Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. Rob, the Indiana Department of Education needs a lot more money, like $100 million, like double the last budget. So they want to, I guess what they want to do is put more resources in for the non-English speaking programs. And I know you talk a lot about this on your show in the Department of Education. What did you think when you saw that?
Okay, two things. Number one, people need to be reminded that we have a looming crisis that is about to hit almost every homeowner in this state, which is the property tax crisis because of the highly flawed assessment process the Republicans have been in charge of for years and years and years in this state, have done nothing about. They know it's happening. They know it's coming. They know it's going to cripple elderly and middle class and lower income people, and they don't have any plan for that because it involves being creative and thinking outside the box and having to do something for the taxpayers. So you don't hear a word about that. And everybody needs to be aware that's about to happen when your spring property tax bills show up. But when it comes to spending money, whether it's Holcomb's Public Health Initiative or public education or fill in a government service near you, these people can't sprint to the nearest podium to talk about the need to throw money at a problem. Now, if we have, it's going to go up, but we have currently a $37.5 billion biennial budget, of which over half goes to K through 12 education. Wow. So as a product of the public school system, that comes out to about $19 billion with a B, $19 billion in this state spent on public education. That's before property taxes kick in. So remember, the dollars spent to public education go to pay the teachers from the state. The property taxes that you pay locally are bright, shiny objects. So you're talking probably well over $30 billion in this state goes to public education, and they still don't have enough money. It is not the money. There will never, ever, ever, never, ever, 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 never be enough money. Again, you have incompetent buffoons who do not know how to spend the money and allocate the resources because they are the government.
And speaking of that, I was listening to John Herrick's story on this. A third of students in this program aren't proficient in reading and writing anyway. And the pandemic lockdowns played a huge part in that. So this is a disaster of their own making.
But again, they're never held accountable.
Never.
It's like Brownsburg when they come out and say, well, we're the number one school system in the state. And there are a lot of gullible, apathetic, uninformed people who will go, yeah, we're number one. Look at the reality of what number one means and what the proficiency of people who fail in being number one, and you would never tolerate that. But again, it rests on us. It rests on the people. We have allowed government, we tolerate government being a colossal failure that, again, if the Taco Bell drive-thru were as bad as the government, people would be sprinting to their nearest county chatter Facebook page, and the comments would be endless. But when it's the government, we just go, oh, okay.
Big plans for New Year's?
Well, my birthday is New Year's Eve.
Oh, and so is my son's. That's right. You guys have both have the same birthday. That's cool.
No, he's not of drinking age yet, right?
Oh, he's going to turn 11, but thank you.
Oh, well, so that I won't be able to have him over to our house. But hey, I did want to say real quick, if we have a second, I know Hammer was on with you earlier, and I absolutely loved the way that he named names and told the truth about how terribly you guys were treated by WTHR and the hit piece they did on you guys in regards to that Afghanistan story at Camp Atterbury. You guys were completely right. Those people at WTHR, Bob What's-His-Face, owe you an incredible apology. You guys were completely right. Great job on that story, and that's why people listen to you, because you guys are awesome.
Hey, Rob, have a happy new year. Give a big hug to that wife of yours, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you, and thanks as always to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
We'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-857-5656. That's 800-857-5656.
You don't have to go through yet another year with that knee pain or back pain. Hoosiers with chronic joint pain are getting real lasting relief from QC Kinetics. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine, utilizing protocols that use healing agents from your own body to target aching joints, repairing and restoring damaged tissue. You can move again with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. So if you have shoulder pain, hip pain, if you have arthritis pain or lingering pain from an injury, do not let them operate on you or give you more steroids. Say no to the pain pills. Call QC Kinetics in Eagle Creek and Greenwood. See if their life-changing all-natural treatments can get you living your best life in the new year. I'm telling you, people right here in Indy are raving about these treatments. This is the future of joint pain management, and appointments are available as soon as the next week. Make 2023 the year you say goodbye to joint pain. Call QC Kinetics right now in Eagle Creek and Greenwood. It's a totally free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. 317-559-PAIN.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, $5 for adults, kids 12 and